Alrighty then, let's see if we can get through this without any more glitches. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I may have been talking in mute for the whole first bit of the stream. And that's just what happens sometimes, so we're going to be okay with it. Also, I had breakfast this morning, so I have no reason to feel so tired, as you can see by these designer bags under my eyes. If I tilt up there, now I'll just be like, no, I'm actually young and bright. Just, I can't have light coming from above, apparently. It needs to be coming from at me. Hold that thought. Let me see if I lower my light if I look less like the crypt keeper. See if this helps. Do I look younger and less dead? Did it help? Good morning. Nothing we could do about it. It's just that my skin has turned 40 and no one let me know that that was going to happen soon. So good morning. Welcome back. Sorry about the beginning where everything always glitches out. That's just what happens here sometimes in the beginning of the stream. It's like our super fun thing that we do. Good morning, Candace. Hit that like all and subscribe if you haven't. That's true. That way you can join in on our chat here. Totally. Don't forget your meds. Take them if you got them. I took them. I took all of them. Well, I actually didn't take all of them because there's a headache pill in here and a cold sore pill in here, and I don't need those right now. But I took my ADHD and my anti-anxiety and my antidepressants, and I wore a new shirt. Do you want to see my new shirt? My friend gave it to me for my birthday. I just saw her, which is crazy. I didn't see her since last month, but it says, easily distracted by rocks. And then there's pictures of all different kinds of rocks around it. Isn't it cute? I like it, so I think it's cute, which is why I'm wearing it today. But we're going to be crocheting today. That's the plan. It's a crochet kind of morning. I'm not feeling particularly organized or motivated or excited to do crochet this morning. I just feel like I want to go just sit in the sun somewhere. Not in the sun. Sit somewhere where it's sunny, but sit in the shade. Literally, ugh. My under eye bags are making me upset. Look at that. Look at that harsh delineation. I just have to keep my head tilted so that the lighting... This is how you know real people and celebrities are not the same, because celebrities are always in the perfect lighting. Real people, we get bad lighting. Oh well. So, moving right into our crochet, now that I've had a little bit of coffee, I can move myself. Oh. My tailbone is still hurting. I'm going to try. Of course, today is Wednesday. I do this every week. Wednesday is the one day a week that my doctor is not available. Okay, so we've got our pieces organized now, hopefully, and we're working on the body front piece. We're working in orange or whatever coral now. We've got a few extra rows on this one. Hey there, madam. Good morning. You've already eaten, so don't come over here begging for food. You can come over here just for attention, though. Hi, good morning, Miss Peekaboo. How doing? Good. I don't want to headbutt you because you have hair that's going to get stuck to my face because I'm wearing sunscreen. You can decide if you want to sit here, but I'm not going to be like doing too much with you because I'm busy. I hope you understand. Don't be upset about it. Cool. What are you upset about? I didn't do anything yet. You just sat down. This is all on you at this point. And then I'll just scoot you back just a little, just so I have some room at the desk. Thanks, honey. Then I'll move me back a little just so that I have some room. A cat, not upset. Good morning. Hey there, good morning, half breed. She's not upset. She just does that thing when she wants attention and she's like, I will get upset. See, now she's chill again, but if I like start petting her and then stop, she starts flicking her tail super aggressive. So watch. There's me petting her twice. Now watch. Flick. Hey? Shake. Nope. Shake. Do you want me to show you that she actually learned a trick? Because I taught Toby shake, and I taught him 1,000 times, and now Pika knows it. Just hold on a second. Look at that elevator butt. Look at that elevator butt. Okay. You ready to show everybody how smart you are? And how good you know tricks? Okay, so just to show you it's not like a trick, she actually does know it. Sit. Good. Shake. Thank you. Treat. Good girl. She eats treat. Now ready for this? Watch. Shake. Good girl. Shake. Good girl. There's the treat. Ready for another? It's in this note. Shake. Thank you. No, put your foot down. Shake. Good girl. With no claws. Just a soft little baby paw. Shake. No, you gotta give it to me. Shake. Thank you. Good girl. She's so smart. Isn't that cute? And then ready? She knows up. Good girl. She knows up. Good girl. See how smart she is? Shake. Good girl. She's a really smart cat. Up. Good girl. You see how she's grabbing my hand but no claws? Because she's gentle to me. Shake. Good girl. Thank you. Good girl. Those are your treats. Toby's like, I just ate, so I don't want any, but I'm jealous. Anyway, my cat's really smart because my dog's really smart. Unfortunately now, though, she thinks that if she paws at me, that... I don't have any more for you, though. I don't. I'm so sorry. She's like, I'll do my tricks. I'm a good girl. I know tricks, Mama. I'll be so good for any food. I want you to hear her purring right now. Come here, Pika. Can you hear it? My baby. This is the gift I have for you, is the cat purring this morning. Good morning. Yeah, I know. I usually do give her a kiss, don't I, Bee? Hi. Hi. Oh, hi, Bubba. Okay, I have some crochet work to do today, so with peace and love, you're going to have to find a spot and leave me alone, okay? Can you do that? Thank you. All right, so we're working again in the coral orange, half double crochets. That's some good ASMR. Just cat loud purring. Heavy breathing cat. All you gotta do is find yourself a big fat kitty cat. I need the hook. Did you see where it went? Oh, it fell back in the basket. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm not petting you. I was reaching for something. It's not a pet. It's a reach. Silly girl. All right, back to my crochet now. She'll survive, I promise. I know she seems desperate, but she just ate food, and she ate half of Peekaboo's food. Don't forget your meds. Oh, sorry, someone's in Discord or in Twitch as well. I'm streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So I'm replying to comments everywhere. Good morning, Laura, and everyone in Pets and Plants. Good morning, Louisa. Girlfriend, this is for you over here. This blanket here is for you to sit on. Thank you. Silly kitty. Well, good morning. Sorry, I was... Can you not knock my stuff off the table? Hey. Did you hear what I said? Can you just lie down and be chill? Can you just lie down? And be chill? I'm trying to do stuff. Laura, where are you? What are you talking about? Where am I? Candace, what are you talking about? I'm literally here. Are you looking at the right thing? I'm on YouTube. I'm live. It's not private. Public. Yeah, no, I'm here. Just checking if I'm here or not. Laura, where are you? Huh? I'm here. Refresh. There. Such a baby. Good morning. She is such a baby. Good morning. Nice to see you as well. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We're going to be crocheting. We're working on a men's extra large pullover in half double crochet. Peekaboo's just joining us. Toby's here too. You can't really see him, but he's in his dog bed. And then both birds are just right here. Beelzebub and Gary are up here. Peekaboo, you have a blanket. Come back onto your blanket. Over here. Thank you. Here, I'll do this so that you can understand that there's like an edge to the front there, okay? That's the front. Good girl. Lie down. Good girl. Thank you. Anywho, we're here and we're ready to go. Welcome back. Hi, nice to see you all. I hope you had a good beginning to your week, Monday, Tuesday. I had a really excellent time. Julia and I went on Monday to the garden center and we bought a bunch of plants from the garden center. I still had a gift card for the garden center I like going to, so I bought a pack of white petunias for $1.99, and then I also bought a pansy for, I think it was $1.99, but it was on for 40% off, so whatever that means. And it was a 3-pack of beautiful pansies, and they were going to seed, so I was like, I'll just collect the seeds from it. That's worth the $1 it cost. So beautiful pansies, my favorite color for pansies, which is like the typical white, blue, purple, yellow color of pansies when you search pansy. So, what is it, Bee? What was that whistle for? Pika? Hey. Oh, it's a piece of bread. She can have it. She's so fat. Well, that was weird. I was sitting here on the live status, but the opening screen only. So weird. Oh, yeah, I've been talking for 20 minutes, girl. I was on time for some reason. I will say I was muted for the first, 5 minutes, but that's, it just happens sometimes when you think everything's going fine and then you're actually muted. Also, in the garden, what I thought I had planted as a purple hollyhock has turned out to be one of my Malva zebrinas. So I have a Malva zebrina blooming right now. No hollyhocks blooming. I also went to the lady who sold me the dahlias. And from her, I purchased 4 pink hollyhocks. So now I have 4 pink hollyhocks planted. There were actually 6 in the pack that she gave me, but 2 of them were little. So 6 hollyhocks that are pink. I have probably 6 hollyhocks that are purple. If I'm lucky, I'll have a black hollyhock. And then I'll have a whole bunch of Malva zebrina, which is hollyhock adjacent. And then I have Lavaterra twin peaks, twin discs, twin saucers, something like that. And then the other one is hot pink something. So silvery pink and hot pink are the 2 Lavaterras, which look very similar in my opinion to hollyhocks, Rose of Sharon, Malva. So hopefully if all of those survive, I should have 3 or 4 colors of a plant that looks kind of similar, which I'm really looking forward to. The Malva and the hollyhocks are something oops, I moved my screen, sorry. Sitting here out of frame. The Malva and the hollyhocks are something I'm really excited about just because I've never grown them before. This is my first year. I've seen them before. I've just never grown them myself. I also noticed I have Sweet Alyssum everywhere, just doing so well. It's not all blooming yet, but so much of it. Also, I threw 3 or 4 packages of baby's breath seeds in hold on. It's probably because I'm male, but you're speaking gibberish, lol. I'm sure they look nice. It's okay that you're not understanding, because honestly, gardening is like a magic, so it's basically, I'm just saying spells out loud right now. I'm basically a goddess, if you're new here. I'm basically like Mother Earth. And you know what? I think I've hit a new connection to Mother Earth. I'm not being like super... Everything I say, take it kind of with like a wishy-washy vibe. Like when I say like, I'm a witch, I don't mean like truly. Like I'm not actively seeking out the dark forces of the world. It's more like when I go into the forest, I don't get any mosquito bites. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a witch. The mosquitoes don't bother me when I'm in the middle of the forest and I'm the only mammal around. You'd think I'd be bothered. Remember when I went into the forest for like 3 hours last week? I just went for I said I was going for like a foraging hike, but really I just walked into the forest about 1 kilometer and then left the path and just vibed in the middle of the woods. And, you know, don't do that if you're like young and female. But like, I'm not young anymore. So like on average, I'm not at risk. And also I obviously am carrying a knife with me when I'm in the forest because I may find something I want to forage. And most plants that you want to forage from the woods, you don't want to pull them out, you want to cut them. So I always have a knife on me anyway. I've never come across an animal that scared me. I've never come across... Well, actually, every time I come across a human, it scares me because I'm trying to be in the woods alone. And if there's another hiker, I'm like, get out of my woods. These are my private woods. They're not actually. They're the Bruce Trail. Anyway, I went into the woods last week. I was in there for 3, maybe even 4 hours. I was in there a while. Foraging, collecting fiddleheads, collecting garlic mustard, collecting wild ginger, which is finally dry, which is great. And collecting some ferns and some flowers, like just some stuff that I was enjoying. I also picked as much garlic mustard as I could, pulling the whole plant out of the ground in the forest, and then I just left it by the edge of the forest because the forest, it's not maintained by like the government, it's maintained by volunteers. So they go in there every couple of weeks and pull garlic mustard because it's a very invasive plant and it's destroying our forests. So I do that. If I'm going to forage from a forest, I also make an effort to pull out invasives while I'm there. That's how I like, you know, like indigenous people put a little bit of tobacco before they forage. I pull out garlic mustard. That's how I help. Plus I eat it, so that's great. Anyway, after that 3-hour trip through the woods, these are not managed woods. Like, they're managed, but, like, the ground is not sprayed for any... It's the wild. It's the wild. It's where deers and ticks and mosquitoes and raccoons and squirrels and birds and coyotes and foxes live. That's what we get. So I went in there for hours. I came out and I went, oh my God, I didn't wear any bug spray. I hope I'm not covered in ticks. When I got home, I stripped down naked. Not one tick on me. I'm telling you, when my little sister walks through her backyard to the back of the backyard and comes back, there could be a tick on her. Me, I go into the wild for hours where the ticks are from, not a tick upon me. So that's when I'm like, oh, I'm magic. It's like that kind of way. Like I have a connection to Mother Earth, whoever they are, whoever God is, whoever the earth is. I kind of feel like they're the same person. However, it's not like I'm actively a witch. It's like I'm passive. I'm naturally a witch, you know? You know what I mean? Not really, but you know. Exactly, Melissa, a green witch. So yes, you can definitely find spices in the forest, Mr. Halfbreed. Lots of them. Is that the same person? Sorry. No, it's a different one. Omniworks. Welcome, Omniworks. You can find wild spices out in the woods. That's awesome. I'm a city boy, so grade me on a curve. Okay, so just because you're a city boy, probably F. I'm going to go ahead and say that you have an F in terms of forest survival skills and which foods and spices are in the woods. That being said, I'm here for you. I'm here to help. What I'm here to help you with is to tell you wild ginger is effing lit. I'm going to go show it to you. And by go, I mean I'm going to go get it. I'll come right back. Don't you worry. Don't go nowhere. It's Beelzebub. Relax. Oh, Beelzebub. Oh, Gary. You're both drama birds. You want a mushroom to chew on or something over here? Here you go. Oh, some eggshells. You want some eggshells? They were in the same container for some reason. You want me to put them in your bowl and you can come get them? Here. It's just eggshells so you can crunch on them. Calcium. You need minerals. Here, I'll put them right there, and you can stop being dramatic. Very good. Thank you.
Calcium. Whatever. What do you guys call it? Oh wait. You can't tell me.
Wait, you don't speak fully English.
Well,
you
you
only
don't
speak
speak
some. They do.
Oh, wait, they do.
Just not all of it. They don't know the scientific terms. Okay, so I have wild ginger here. Why does it look like a dried up root? Because it is. So ginger that you get from the grocery store is big and bulbous and knobby and has all those little things on it. Grocery store ginger is not the same as wild ginger. Let me see if I can grab you a picture, because wild ginger is so prolific. Where do you live? Because if you live not at all where I am, then maybe you don't get this. Wild ginger and ginger. Okay, are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble. Let me just open my Google here. Mr. Google Pants is here to help us understand. So that's the ginger you're used to seeing, if you're used to seeing ginger, right? Looks like ginger. The ginger from the garden that I go to looks like this. So when you see it in a patch, it's like this. It looks like a bunch of water lilies or something. Like it looks like a water plant. And then the flower is actually under the surface of the soil, which is so weird. When you pull up the plant, the flower comes after. You barely see like when you're walking through the woods, you don't see all these flowers, but they're there. So anyway, wild ginger, it has skinny stems. Let me see if I can find one that shows the roots. So you're still using the root. Okay, hold on. Wild ginger root. The roots look like this. They're not like regular ginger, they're thinner. But what's interesting about them is they smell and taste exactly the same as regular grocery store variety ginger, which feels so cool to me. The idea that you can have like well-seasoned food from the forest, I love that. I watch a lot of bushcraft YouTube, same. I do have survival knowledge, just not practice. I know it's not the same, but I'll get experience eventually. It's true. What I would recommend for you if you're a city boy is, this is something we tried our first year this year. We usually go camping. My partner and I, we go camping every summer. And also I'm a woodsman. I prefer the woods. So ideally, if there's a swamp involved, but either way, if you've got the knowledge, a really fun way to practice without the intensity of having to like collect camping supplies, go glamping. So we went for our anniversary this year to a glamping campsite. So usually we go like in the woods camping, but I didn't want to have to let my partner know anything about the trip. I wanted to plan it all myself. So that required me not to have to take out all of our camping equipment. So we went glamping. Still were out in the wild, still had access to a river and a forest and like what I want, but our tent was pre-set up. It was like a canvas yurt, so it had a bed, a mattress. It was all up on off the ground. The campsite had a barbecue and a griddle and stuff. So you get like all of the softness of a cottage, but it's not expensive like a cottage. It was like $100 a night, which is not cheap. I'm not going to say that's cheap, but it's cheaper than getting a cottage. It's more expensive than a campsite. It's about $45 for a campsite. So I don't know. We had a really good time. And if you don't have the experience yet to back up the knowledge you have, a great way to bridge that gap is to... What the heck? Peekaboo, did you do that? This is a brand new shirt. It's the first time I'm wearing it. Did I do that to myself? When did I touch dirt? I don't know. Anyway, this is my ginger. I've been waiting for it to dry out. I was going to put it in the dehydrator, but then it started drying easily on its own. See? It's like dry. And it smells so good. Let me show it to you really, really up close on the camera so you can see how not like regular ginger it looks. That's what's so interesting to me. It has the exact same flavor as ginger. It looks nothing like it. How is that? What else looks exactly the opposite of anything while smelling the same? That feels so odd to me. Anyway, it looks like a little pile of sticks. Ta-da. And actually it's ginger, and it's gonna be tea. That's what I'm using it for. But my plan is to wait until my lemon tree comes a little bit stronger and my chamomile comes a little stronger. I'll do a lemon, ginger, chamomile tea. I'll probably add mint to it so that I can do lemon, ginger, chamomile, mint, because that's like my favorite mix from my natural teas. I make a mint tea probably 4 times a week from our garden. Like I do catnip, mint, and whatever herbs are alive. But yeah, I love the idea of having an active source of ginger. And it's not like it grows rare. Like when you're hunting ramps from the forest, when you're foraging for ramps from the forest, you're supposed to only take 10% of any given patch. Ramps form in a clump. Ramps they look like an onion sort of, but you only eat the green tops. You don't eat the bulb. So when you get ramps, you're supposed to cut them at the soil, and you're only supposed to take a few and whatever. Wild ginger grows like it's trying to take over the forest. You could straight up fill a like Rubbermaid tote and you wouldn't even notice that you took any. That's how much there is in my forest. Obviously, I took a handful because you don't really need a Rubbermaid tote full. But it is a very prolific plant. Have you watched My Self-Reliance on YouTube? I love his videos. My Self-Reliance. Is it with words or no words? Because I don't know the channel name that I watch, but the guy I watch does it with no words, and I like his. He just like builds things from in the wild. I do a lot of vibes-based foraging, I want to say. Like, I know my poison plants. I'm not touching poison stuff, but what I like to focus on is like the enjoyment of foraging, because I don't have anywhere to hold the things that I collect. It's basically, if we're foraging, it's to eat or preserve. Those are our options. Now I'll have to look at the plants where I go to the river now. You literally do. When was or is your dermatologist appointment? My dermatologist appointment is tomorrow. We're going to find out if the doctor thinks there's any skin cancers on me. And when they say no, there's not, that means I won't have to have anxiety anymore. You definitely should look at the plants that grow around the river, because there are quite a few really good, like river mint is very common around rivers, obviously, or water mint or lake mint, lots of names for it. Basically, wild mint is very prolific around waterways. So definitely look for mint. Also, look for catnip. It's very common. He's a Canadian businessman that sold his business, retired, and went to build a log cabin out in the woods all on his own. There's mostly no talking, but he does talk sometimes when he's on lunch or a coffee break. Oh, cool. Well, I'm Canadian, too. I'm in southern Ontario, about an hour away from the border, hour away from Toronto, that sort of region. And spring has fully sprung here, so my garden is now in, which I'm very pleased about. My dahlias, as soon as they went into the ground, took off like crazy. But this year, what I'm really excited about with foraging is I have a pair of waders. My partner got me a pair of, oh, you want to see them? I got an exchange, so now they're the right size. Alex is like, have you tried them on? How do you know if they fit? And I'm like, we exchanged them for a bigger size. The other size fit, so these ones will fit. Okay, you want to see them? I'm very excited about these. Not gonna lie, I cried when I first understood them. I'm very excited about these. They have boots built in. Are you kidding? Boots are built into this. It's a pair of overalls that is fully waterproof. So I can go into the water up to my chest. Are you kidding me? Without getting wet? Tell me that's not the coolest thing you've ever seen. Yeah, these ones definitely fit better. The other ones fit, but if I wanted to wear big pants, like sweatpants, or if I wanted to wear a big sweater or a coat, it would be tight. So these ones are big, lots of room. Look at this. Look at those. Oh! It's missing the belt. Oh, the belt might be in the pockets. There it is. My belt. It comes with a very handy belt, which is great. Put that through there. Is there one in the back? No? Okay, hold on. Put it through there. Good, good, good. neoprene or whatever. I don't even know what it's made of, but it's science, that's for sure. It's using high technology. Sorry, I'm trying to get the belt in. There's a belt here that's giving me trouble. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Relax. Calm down, everybody. No panic needed. Could you just go through? You have one job. Be a belt. Why are you being difficult? I'm trying to show my friends my belt. Trying to show all my cool new friends. Okay, there we go. All right. Ready? Oh yeah. Ain't no water getting in these pants. I tell you what. I can go all, look at, you can see it's waterproof because look. It doesn't let any water in. I'm very excited about it. I know that they are a little dorky looking. However, do you understand that I can go into the lake and not get wet? Because that's what's exciting for me, is that this will let me into the lake. It has boots built in. My feet won't get wet. Do you understand? It's very exciting. Oh, very excited about these. This has been like a dream. Look at that. See how waterproof they are? They won't even let the air come out, like a sleeping bag when you're trying to wrap it up. There. Anyway, it's a fly fishing thing, but I don't do fly fishing. I do rock hoarding and rock tumbling and rock collecting, and I want to go in the water in my best Ric Flair, woo, looking like a stylish fishmonger. I agree. I think that is what it is for fishers. I do fishermen. I do fish, but those are more so that I can just go in the water and look at things that I can't usually reach from the shore, basically. And it's going to make me very happy. I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm very pumped to be able to do that. All right, let's see. All right, we've got a couple of people here, a couple of people here, and a couple of people here. Hi, everybody in Facebook. Hi, everybody in Discord. Hi, everybody in YouTube. And hi, everybody on Twitch. Nice to see you all. Welcome, welcome. I get the feeling. I was like a kid in a candy store when I got my electric lawnmower. I get excited by functional items like that, too. Yeah, I've gotten excited about some, like, there are some toys I've gotten as gifts that I'm like, these are just for me, you know? Fishers is the correct term. Okay, cool. I love your channel. Thanks, sis. Nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, join, and come by every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because that is when I'm here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. Always. Anyway, I got overalls last year for my birthday and was very excited about it. And then I got waterproof overalls for this year. I'm very excited to get to use them. I did want to go perch fishing this year and like actually put up some preserved, like frozen perch so that I wouldn't have to buy it. However, I haven't done that yet. But what I have done is I went to the grocery store yesterday and rainbow trout and perch were both on this like insane sale. So I think I got 9 fillets of trout from the grocery store, and I think I paid like $18 for like the whole thing. And they're like big fillets like this, and I got packs of 3 of them. I got 3 packs of 3, and they were very, very, very well priced. I have already, and by I mean my little sister did it when we got home, we vacuum sealed and froze all of them into portions. So now I don't need to buy fish probably for 2, maybe 3 months, because we eat trout or salmon or perch every Thursday as like Thursday fish day. It was a very good price. And the trout looked great. And then also they had rainbow trout for sale, like full fish, for $3. So I bought a rainbow trout because I was like, yes, I know it's not finished as a fillet, but like I want to cook a full fish. I want to get better at cooking a whole fish. So I think some of my goal for this summer is to incorporate more full fish into our food so that I can get better at cooking it. I feel like I'm not 100% confident like cooking a whole fish. I'm totally confident with fillets. and steaks, but when it's a whole fish, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking for finished, except if I screw around with it, which I don't want to do. You know, like I can poke at it to see if it's done, but I want to be able to like look at it and be like, that's done. So I got a whole rainbow trout. It grossed the heck out of my sister, and I was like, girl, I've had to kill too many animals in my life to feel bad about one dead trout. I'm sorry. Like, kill one of your pets to end its suffering. Then tell me that a dead fish is a problem. A dead fish is just not a problem once you've had to kill your own pet. That's making me sound like a sociopath. A fox attacked my chickens, and I had to kill one of my chickens that was dying because the fox had attacked them all. It was bleeding out, and it was in pain and scared, so I had to break her neck. It was very awful. I'm not saying that that's something I would want you to have to do. My point is that once you do that, there's like a certain thing with dead animals. I guess I also don't have the fear around dead animals because I like dead things. Like, I like bones. So a dead raccoon, if it's rotted away and mostly what's left is a little bit of fur and a skull, I'm going to take the skull. Like, I'm not afraid of that sort of thing. So maybe that also helps. But like, she was like gagging, wearing gloves, picking up this dead rainbow trout. This dead, like long dead. It was gutted. It was like she was like, why do they have to keep the eyes in it? I'm like, I don't know, they just do whatever. Wow, that's not bad at all. I know, it was a good price. I had a very big grocery shopping bill yesterday, which was very much a bummer. Do you ever have those? I know you do. I know you do. Do you have those days when you have to buy paper towels? We call it like the big grocery day. It's like when you have to get coffee, paper towels, oatmeal, toilet paper, meat. Those are not every week items that we have to buy, because usually when they're on sale, I buy a lot of meat. When they're on sale, we buy a lot of those things. So then when we run out, it's like, for somehow they all run out at the same time. And then you have this one grocery day where you're like, we only spend 100 and something every week. This week it's 300. It just like goes crazy. Oh my God, Jules, it's not that bad. That's what I think, right? It's not that bad. Do you like mushrooms as well? Of course. I forage for mushrooms. Often I'm foraging for them for fun, I will be honest. We don't have a ton of available mushrooms that are edible right where I live. You can. Let's see. Live mushrooms eat dead people, and live people eat dead mushrooms. That's the truth. It's a circle of life. The beautiful circle of life. Yes, I love mushrooms. I love foraging for them. Usually when I'm foraging, though, I'm foraging for the ones that I like for other things. Like, I like to find lichen and mushrooms for natural dye, because the only mushrooms that I'm able to find regularly are oyster mushrooms, and they're delicious and great, but they're not often. It's just like, I know where to find them and how to find them. But like I did on that 3-hour hike, I was very actively looking for morels, whatever. And I didn't see one. I did see some turkey tails. I saw some jelly fungus and some slime fungus and some cool, what's that one? The toothy fungus? Toothed? Lion's tooth? Something like that? Hound's tooth? Some kind of tooth fungus. Anyway, not a lot of morels, not a lot of other edible kinds. Lots of pretty mushrooms for photos, but not a lot for edible. I'm sure there are, just not right where I look. Because of the makeup of my forest. I call it my forest. I'll have you know, it's just a forest that I frequent. So therefore it is my forest. It does not belong to me. It's a public forest. It's actually all private land, except there's a trail that goes through the forest that is public land. It's called the Bruce Trail, and it's a very long hiking trail that goes far. I don't even know where it goes far. And you're allowed to walk that trail anywhere. When I was around 4, my neighbor shot a dog that got ran over by a car outside of our house. Yep. 38 years ago, and I can still hear the sounds. That was probably my earliest trauma. Yeah, that's pretty screwed up to have to experience. I'm so glad that I haven't had to see a dog or a cat injured to the point they have to get put down. All of my pets have been like sick or old. So I haven't had to see an injured animal get put down, except that chicken. And she was one of my favorites, which was so sad, which is why I killed her pretty much immediately, because she was bleeding and very scared. And I was just like, no, I don't want this chicken to have any more time afraid. I love her so much that I'm not going to try and treat this because it's obviously a mortal wound. Like, she was going to die in an hour. Like, she was bleeding out. So it was a mercy kill, but it wasn't easier because it was merciful. It was awful. I didn't want that. I didn't want any of that. And the friggin' fox killed like 8 of our chickens. Just ran through the backyard, just murdering our chickens. Just like not even taking them away. Just like grabbing, shaking, dropping. So there were just dead chickens everywhere. It was so frustrating. Obviously, it was heartbreaking. I was very upset about how sad I was, but I was also like mad because it was my fault. I left the chickens unattended and a fox snuck up. But that's what happens in the country. That's not a now thing. I don't have any chickens right now. I live in the downtown core of a city, but we used to live on a farm. And it was lovely. Pine and magic around here. There's definitely magic in our woods. At least there is for me. My heart feels so good and quiet when I'm there. No songs just repeating in my head over and over again. Not when I'm in the forest, which is amazing. Anyway, sweater's coming along well, and the garden is looking great. It's small, but it'll grow. We do have some flowers, some marigolds, some sweet alyssum, pansies. Wild violets are almost finished. The ferns are taking off like crazy. The hostas are taking off like crazy. The lilac tree is pretty much finished, which is sad, but it's what happens. It means spring is done. And that's just fine by me. And we're having a whole week of sunshine and beautiful temperatures. So I'm expecting by the beginning of next week, we should have some pretty magical garden stuff going on. I almost said Christmas stuff. I'm trying to decide how many rows I want to do of the, maybe this many. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. And then how many have I done here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Time to switch colors. Let's see. Omniworks. Omniworks. Is that like a steel factory or an electricity company? Omniworks. Omni 2. That's a channel. Omni 1. Anyway, I'm talking to Twitch, by the way. YouTube, if you hear me talking to someone and it's not in our chat, that means it's in the Twitch chat. Twitch, if you see me talking and it's not in the Twitch chat, it's the YouTube chat. I've got 2 chats open. I have a sneeze stuck in my nose. Nope, not coming yet. I was in the Dominican Republic when I was 19 and we went to an open air market. Oh, those are interesting, aren't they? One of the people with us bought a chicken and the lady selling them grabbed one by the wings in the back and gave the wing joint a karate chop, then dunked it in boiling water to get all the feathers off. Not quite as traumatizing, but still unsettling if you haven't seen it before. Yeah, having a chicken. Also, just as a side note, if you grow chickens, you don't typically eat the chicken the day that it dies. You're supposed to let them sit in refrigeration for like a week so that they can not be gamey and tough. The muscle fibers all have to relax after the animal dies, and that takes a couple of days. And if you eat a chicken the same day that you kill it, you're going to have very gamey, very tough meat. Fun fact, if you've never raised chickens before. I remember when we had our chickens processed the first time, we one year ended up with like 50 chickens. We did not have a big farm, so it's not like we had a lot of room to do this. They were being raised in a shed. So we had 50 chickens, and then it turned out like 20 of the babies that we had turned out to be boys, which is like not ideal. Okay, hold on. If we do that, maybe then we do a couple rows of yellow and then switch back to the green. Anyway, that's not how you're supposed to do it. And we had all these roosters, and you can't get any benefit from roosters except noise. I don't mind the noise, but I don't want to be feeding a whole bunch of animals for no purpose unless they're pets. So we got rid of most of our roosters, and we were having trouble getting rid of, I'm going to say like, I feel like we had 17 birds we couldn't get rid of. So when we called the butcher people, they don't do orders less than like 100 birds. And I was like, I don't know what to do with all these roosters. I don't want to have to try and rehome 17 roosters. Everybody eats roosters. Nobody keeps roosters. So after talking to the guy, he was like, I'll do it. It's fine. You can bring your birds here. And he was like, are they big or are they small? And I said, I have no idea. They're chickens and they're a year old. And then I brought them and he said, okay, they're pretty small. I was like, is that okay? And he was like, I don't care. And I was like, okay. So he processed our birds, process the birds however they do it at a factory that does that. And then they put them in plastic, like shrink plastic. So all the birds were individually wrapped, and we had 17 chickens in the fridge for like a long time. I made so much soup that year. I did not know, but I was thinking about meat birds in our new home. We need the eggs already. So I figured I might as well do meat birds also. Well, meat birds are kind of a high investment of energy, but it's a short period. You only keep those birds for 8 weeks. Meat birds only live for 8 weeks. You don't keep them all summer. Like egg-laying birds, you get young birds in the spring, and ideally you get birds that are old enough to be laying that spring, which is at least 6 months old. But if you're getting like babies, you won't get eggs the whole first year that you have them. You'll get eggs the following spring. But with meat chickens, it's 8 weeks from hatch to harvest. They grow so fast. So if you don't need meat like that quickly, what I would say is a good option is to find a dual purpose bird. So a bird that lays eggs and can be used as meat, so that you can use them for eggs for like 2 years. And then as their eggs production starts tapering off, you can harvest them for meat, and they'll be good meat birds. That being said, if you have eggs coming from a bird for 2 years, you're not going to harvest them for meat because you'll name them and you'll end up falling in love with them. I loved my chickens. I have the skull of one of them right here because I loved her so much. That's Diane. Diane was my favorite chicken. And I processed her whole skeleton after she died and articulated her whole skeleton. Unfortunately, it fell on the ground, and I still have to put it back together because it's like a puzzle, but it's a puzzle made of the bones of my favorite chicken. But yeah, you'll end up falling in love with some of them. No, but not on purpose. It just happens because they're very sweet little creatures with very sweet personalities, and they're silly, and all of them are different from one another, and some of them are more bold, some are more shy. God, I love egg-laying chickens. My favorite is the black Australorp. That's what Diane was. Second favorite, brown Orpington. That's what the one I had to kill was. Ah, okay. You're being my research source, lol. We're a year away from the home, so I haven't done much looking into it. Okay, a bone puzzle. Well, I processed her skeleton after she died, which was like mildly traumatizing, I will say. I say mildly because you've seen a dead chicken before, so like processing a dead chicken isn't like viscerally upsetting, but when I had to process the bones, processing bones for taxidermy, you do something called hot maceration. So it's like hot water and what's that cleaner called? Ammonia? Is it ammonia I'm thinking? I think it's ammonia. So it's ammonia and hot water and dish soap. So you have a broth of chicken, ammonia, and dish soap, and it smells... It smells in a way where you're like, it smells like food because there's the smell of like chicken soup, and it smells like poison because there's ammonia and dish soap. It's like very not the vibe. No, why did it sound like food? I do that with strawberries. Yeah. Okay, you're being my research source. Yeah, so it smelled like food and like poison, which was very not fun. And then also I had to like pull the skin off of my pet and like wait until the meat fell off the bone of my pet and then pull all the meat off the bones of my pet. Like, it was a little... You have to have a specific kind of personality for it. I have that kind of personality. So while it feels like I'm dissociating the gross part, but for me it felt like I was laying my pet to rest. It didn't feel like, when I'm describing it, it sounds like I'm a sociopath who wants to like pull apart dead animals, but that's not accurate. It was more that I knew what the final goal of what I was doing was, so it was fine, but the process was, I would do it outside is what I would say. If I was doing it again, I would do it on a burner outside. It's not an inside job, I'll tell you. But the taxidermist that did our dog's skull did the same process, hot maceration. And when he said he did hot maceration, I was like, God, I hope his pot is outside, bro. Because I don't want to smell what a cooked dog smells like inside. I don't ever want to smell what a cooked dog smells like, I don't think. I think I'm good not knowing that. If I was to do it myself again, I would probably do a bury method, which is where you just literally bury the carcass and worms and stuff eat it, and then you come back for the bones a year later. But anyway, that's a little fun little memory lane. How are my YouTube homies doing? What's everybody up to over here? What are you guys working on? This sweater has been on the go for me for many moons, and I feel like we're getting somewhere finally. We're like on the way. Kiss, I hear you, Beelzebub. You want to come sit with me? You just tell me if you want to come here. She's like, I'm not talking to you right now. Yeah, exactly. It gave me closure. Anyway, so, oh, what else? I wanted to mention, I was looking at the garden center, not yesterday, the day before, and I was looking at all of the tree options, and do I need to get a Japanese maple? Is that something I need to be having? Because, oh my God, the garden center had so many different varieties of Japanese maple in so many different sizes and shapes that I was like, you could have like 10 different Japanese maples and they wouldn't even look like you had 10 Japanese maples. They're very pretty. I think that's going to be on my list, like everybody else in the world who doesn't love a Japanese maple. Okay, so after I do a couple of yellow rows, I don't have very much yellow left, so I think I can only do a row of 2. I think then we have to switch back into the teal. Sitting here thinking how odd some of the others must be thinking. She is my kind of odd. Sitting here thinking how odd some of the others must be thinking. Yeah, the others who come by and hear these things can go, that's really weird. And I can go, yeah, I know. I don't feel bad about it, but it is weird. I'm not going to say it's like normal to keep your pet's skulls. It's less weird than it maybe used to be. But you know, there were always those weird old ladies that taxidermied their cats, you know? What are you going to do? I could be that lady. Same. Thanks, Melissa. As long as it's your kind of weird, then I'm happy to have you here. I don't want to weird anyone out. Like, I don't want to make people feel grossed out. But, like, I know that when I tell these stories in front of real people, I often have to stop telling the story because I look at their face after telling half of the story in my own happy way. And then I look up and I'm like, oh my God, their face is not enjoying this. So then I have to go like, anyway, to each his own. And then people will be like, yeah, I have my dog's ashes. And I'm like, cool, so you have their dead body. Yours is just ground up. Weird. You burned your pet and ground it up. That's weird. So you're mad that I boiled mine? I didn't ground it up at least. Anyway. Yes, I have a 10-foot twisted 2-tone Japanese maple. That sounds amazing. Great tree. Well, the 2 trees that I currently have, I have a choke cherry and a lilac. Those are my trees. And a lemon tree. But the lemon tree is like an indoor tree that goes outside in the summer. She's outside already, though, so I'm happy. But those are my 3 trees. Oh, I guess my Dracaena is a tree now. It's like 10 feet tall, so that would make it a tree. It's a plant, but it grows in tree formation. So I guess I have one other tree. But it's time for me to start accumulating perennials that are going to be long-lived, like trees. So I think that the next one that I want, we've been talking about this on my channel for a while, on the live stream for a while. The next tree that I want, I think, is going to be a food tree or a function tree of some sort. I tried to boil the flesh off of some sea urchins with just water. Talk about smell. Yeah. Not like the tastiest thing, you know? Not my favorite thing. But imagine you also loved that sea urchin. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that sea urchin was a pet that you had for years that you loved. And then you're also smelling that awful smell. So it was like I was smelling chicken soup and poison and looking at my pet. It was all very good little mixture of feelings going on there. By the way, don't forget to click the like button if you haven't yet today, and subscribe. I put out new videos whenever I can, and I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. here on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Facebook. I am live 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thank you. So the next one I want to get, I have a choke cherry, and I think I want to get a service berry. I know where I forage for service berries, so I don't need one. I also want to get a mulberry. I know where to forage for mulberries, but I also need one. And I want an elderberry tree. So I need elderberry, mulberry, and serviceberry. Those are the three like food trees that I'm interested in. Like within the next 3 years, I want those trees. And then I want to start looking at ornamentals. So Japanese maple is on the ornamentals list for me. There's also this variety of, I want to call it weeping birch, but I don't know if that's actually what it's called. I call it that because it's like, it looks like a weeping willow, but it's a birch tree. I'll see if I can find her for you. Also, I have to pee. Let's see if it's called a weeping birch. I call it a weeping birch. I've never been told that that's what it is. It just looks weepy, which is something that I like about it. We love a weepy tree, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is what... No, that's not what I want. Just hold on, I'm looking for it. Okay, well this is not a good example of an individual, but it is technically an individual of a weeping birch, so at least it'll give you some kind of idea, I think. Nope, not that one. This one. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this one here. See what I mean? Do you see how it's got like no leaves on the top of the branches, but then it falls down? This is a tiny example. Like it's not exactly what I'm looking about, but like eventually they get big and they're like these big weepy trees and they're so pretty. Eventually I think they get really big and weepy, but like I just love the way that the branches fall and the way the leaves fall. So weeping birch, that's on one of my top fives. And then there's also this like weeping, I don't know if it's a pine or I think I'm gonna call it a weeping pine. It's probably not called that, but blue weeping pine. Let's see if that's what I'm looking for. No, it's not that one. Maybe it's a spruce. It's my favorite tree. Weeping spruce? It might be something like that. A spruce, a pine. But they're always super weepy looking, and I really like it. I like depressed trees. I just want to see many depressed trees. I wonder if I could search, like, what's another word for weepy when you're talking about trees? I don't even know. In my head, I'm like, a weepy pine tree makes sense. What about, okay, dwarf weeping white spruce. Let's see if it's a weeping white spruce. No, it's not. What else could it be? Dwarf, okay. Weeping trees. Let's see if weeping trees is going to get us where we're looking. Discord, okay. So maybe I can find it for you here. Let's see if I've got the one. It's like this variety of pine and it falls over and it looks so cool as a fallen over pine tree. Like it looks like it's a letter C. No, it's just not here. But I want you to know, one day I'll be able to show it to you because I'll have it. I'll take a picture the next time I see one. Okay, I have to pee. So you guys are going to just have to talk amongst yourselves. Here's a dog to watch while I'm gone. There's also 2 parrots somewhere around there and a cat wandering the streets. So I'm going to turn my mic down and the music up, and I'll be back in 2 to 5. Here I am. I got a croissant. I needed it, okay? How we doing, everybody? How's the Facebook chat going? Did I miss anybody in here? No, the Facebook chat is always very quiet. But I appreciate you anyway. I'm almost done and then I'll be talking and hanging out again. Jesus, I love a croissant. Don't you love a croissant? Delight. Okay, I'm back. All is well. No panic to worry about. All right. Delish. I grab a new coffee, a new fresh coffee. And it's delicious because it's new and fresh. I'm going to finish this second row of yellow, and then I think we have to do a row of this guy, which we have lots of, so I don't feel bad about. What? Miss Beelzebub, what do you need, my dear? Do you want to come sit with us, or are you just talking? The whole time I was gone, she was sneezing. And by not really sneezing, she was going, achoo! But in bird language. All right, I've done 2 rows. Now, I think we'll switch back into the blue for a bit. You're so cute. All right. I kind of also am feeling a little nervous about the sleeve. Like maybe we should start work on the sleeve so that we can catch up with our yarn and know exactly how much we have left. Because like I'm making the pattern pieces without doing real math. I'm just sort of like eyeballing and going, it's probably enough for that, right? But is it? Is it really? She's gonna be cute. That's the armpit. That's the armpit. Yeah, maybe we should switch to the other pieces and kind of get ourselves caught up with the other. Ooh, well. Ugh. Okay, so what will we talk about now while I'm figuring out these colors? Oh, what do you feel about hellebores? Do you have any opinions on hellebores? That's a question that I've been asking myself. I love them, but I don't have any of them. So I'm like, do I start collecting hellebores, or do I just love them from afar and then start collecting them when we actually have a place to put them? I bet they would live in a pot fine, but my shade pots right now, they're all done. I don't have any room for any more shade pots. I have like 15 pots of hostas and wild violets and ferns. So I don't need any more of them, but I love shade stuff, shade gardens. So just something I've been thinking about if I'm going to start collecting certain perennials. Because right now the perennials I've been keeping, I only started actually intentionally collecting perennials a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, a couple, and now I'm like obsessed with a bunch of them. Thank you. Okay, we finished our yellow, then we go in for a purple, right? Right. Anywho, I have to figure out what I want to do with this wild ginger. Some things on the internet said some people will get gastrointestinal upset from this ginger, but that's like the opposite of what regular ginger is like. So I wonder if that's, let me see. Uses for wild ginger. Let's see what the internets tell us. Treat indigestion, colds, and sore throats. It contains whatever acid known to be toxic to the kidneys. Used in moderation as a digestive aid. Roots can be candied, used to make syrups, or boiled as a ginger substitute in baking, marinades, and meat dishes. The leaves and roots are steeped to make a fragrant woodland tea, though it has a more bitter, herbaceous flavor than store-bought ginger. Okay. Because it spreads via shallow roots, it makes an excellent native evergreen ground cover for shaded, humus-rich woodland gardens. Cool. How to harvest and use wild ginger. That's what we want. Let's have a look, shall we? I do have some of it, after all. Maybe I'll collect more. Food and gardening. Okay, I know you're all just on the edge of your seats here. I'm just getting the thing organized so that I can show ya. This one. This one. Okay, how to harvest and use wild ginger is what we are going to be doing a little chit chat about. So, if you live in North America, perhaps the warmer and longer days have you itching to get outside. Foraging as a way of life, a year-round field guide to wild plants, offers you the opportunity to get the most out of your time. Did you know that you can forage for many delicious and important plants this early in the season? I did know that. Ground covering plant in moist habitats grows from a rhizome. Each node there are 2 dark green leaves. They are slightly hairy, heart-shaped, and long-stalked. Flower grows at the end of a rhizome and often hidden under the leaves. Flower is hairy, dark maroon, and has 3 long sepals, each that taper to a point. Each sepal is generally longer than 3 centimeters. Seeds are dispersed by ants who are attracted to an oil on the outside of the seed. The entire plant emits a strong scent when crushed, pollinated by flies. Okay, all right. Hazelwort. Whitetail. Okay, cool. It's exciting to see it poking out from under newly melted snow, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. Let's see. The Western North American wild ginger has edible leaves that have a similar taste to the rhizome, so they can replace it. Oh. That's smart. That I can use the leaves. They can also be used in place of the roots to brew a pleasant tea. The flavor is like commercial ginger, but with more wild nuances. That bitter, herbaceous flavor we were talking about. Other uses. Toxic damage. You need large amounts for an extended period. Avoid using this plant in vinegar or alcohol. Okay. Traditionally, wild ginger was cooked or extracted in water only. Okay, first of all, I'm reading. If you're worried about indigestion, using the water the plant has been steeped in and discarding the plant matter might minimize it. Okay. Wild ginger is lauded for its antibiotic properties and helps with stomach troubles and indigestion. Do not use if you're pregnant. Do not consume large doses. Be cautious if you have impaired kidneys. People with sensitive skin may develop rashes from the leaves. I have sensitive skin and I don't develop rashes from the leaves. Canadian wild ginger. Is it Canadian? I don't mind that. Let's see. Distribution, description, establishment, status, uses. Urinary disorders. The Ojibwe used this plant as an appetizer by putting it in any food as it was being cooked. It was also used for indigestion. Iroquois used the roots to treat scarlet fever, colds, urinary disorders, and headaches. The Cherokee used the plant for a wide variety of medicinal purposes. The roots were used to treat cough, colds, heart trouble, and blood medicine. All right, so basically we can use it like ginger, but the medicinal ways. Not like food ways, more like tea ways. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? At least that's what I think. Where are my little Twitchers at? My Twitch folks have left me high and dry. It's okay. I'm still here, and I will be. So, what are you working on? What kind of stuff are you guys working on today? Because I am going to do this sweater, and it's going to be so much closer to being done than it is right now. Don't you chirp at him with that attitude. Look. Right there, he's sharing his toast with Beelzebub. Oh, and Gary. Oh, they got a peanut. So lucky. You guys are so lucky. Is it good? Yeah. Those are some happy birds right there. I tell you what. They love when Alex shares his food with them. It's like the highlight of their day. They'll be all like, those happy noises. That's a happy bird noise. All right, so I'm on a dark purple row. Then we'll do teal, and then we'll do coral. Dark purple, coral, and teal. It's not dark purple, it's just purple. I don't have a lot of the purple. I'm just trying to make it go a little farther because I'm feeling like I'm not going to have enough yarn for my sleeves. There's a non-zero chance that my sleeves are going to not have enough yarn. That's fine. We're going to just be okay with it. So, are any people who are here today gardening right now? Is it gardening season for you? Because I have a question about the garden that I want your opinion on. It's an opinion question. What flower do I need for hominess? For me, it's hostas. I know they're not a flower, but the plant that I need in my garden, like for hominess, is hostas. What other garden plants are homey? I feel like roses can be homey because it's like anything that has been growing there a long time. You know what I mean? I feel like a lilac makes a property homey, and I feel like hostas make it homey. What else? I'm not ready to get a rose yet because I'm not ready to have to do rose maintenance. Personally, that's just not where I'm at. Eventually, I'm sure I will get a rose, but am I going to want it in a pot or am I going to want it in the ground? Am I going to want it in a raised bed or am I going to want it against the house? Like, I don't know. Do you grow roses? I've never grown roses before. I tried to from a cutting from my grandpa's rose, but it didn't take. That's actually not a bad idea for me to go back to his house and see if I can get another cutting. I'm sure that the people who moved in would not mind. What is going on here? Okay, good. A Rose of Sharon. Okay. Are there lots of colors for Rose of Sharon, Candace? Like, can we get nice ones? Rose of Sharon. Because I feel like I always see them in just the one hibiscus color, the purple to pink with the yellowy white center. And it's fine, but I feel like there's probably other Rose of Sharon varieties other than like just that, you know the basic color. The color of Rose of Sharon. Let me show it to you. Okay, like images. Do you see what I mean? Like that color it's fine. It's just like Rose of Sharon color, you know? So could I do something different? Like maybe I could get something more pink. Rose of Sharon comes in yellow. That's not a Rose of Sharon. That's straight up just a hibiscus, but thank you. Let's see, what do we have? Purple or pink? Rose of Sharon tree varieties. That looks like a hollyhock when it's done up all big like this. Nope, that's not what I clicked. Thank you. This one looks kind of hollyhockish. I think I would prefer a single instead of a double. This is a single. Hibiscus. I did not know white. Yeah, I did not know white either. Diana. I feel like I'm mostly interested in the pinkiest ones. Over purple, I mean. Like, that's not bad. Color-wise. Weird that it's a tree. I'm gonna be honest. I'm used to seeing them like this. Like a shrubbery. But I guess you can cut it like a tree. Who's gonna stop you? The white is nice, Candace. I feel like these ones don't really remind me of a Rose of Sharon, though. So, like, if I'm gonna grow a Rose of Sharon, I would want it to look like one, you know? Yeah, none of this really speaks to me so much. I feel like, okay, hold on. Is Rose of, okay, let's try again. Is Rose of Sharon, Malva, and Malva, Hollyhock, and Hibiscus the same? Obviously, I know it's not the same, but like, is it the same? Rose of Sharon, Malva, Hollyhock, and Hibiscus are not the same plant, but they are close botanical cousins. They all belong to the overarching family, the Malvaceae, the mallow family, which explains their similar funnel-shaped flowers and prominent center stamens. Thank you. So they are all the same, is what you're saying. They're all Malvaceae. Thank you. Thank you. We love when we figure out science together. Okay, so maybe a Rose of Sharon. You know what I need? I need my book to write down varieties. Also, girl, I've been wearing lotion and my skin is smooth. Obviously. That would happen, but I'm not used to it. Okay, back to crochet. Rose of Sharon is a good suggestion. What makes a house a home? A lilac, a Rose of Sharon, hostas. So really, I feel like it's a perennial cottagecore garden, really. Because when I also think of it, I'm like, irises are part of it, you know? Oh, also, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace this morning, and there is someone who is giving away poppies that are perennial poppies growing in their yard. They're like, they've taken over, come dig out a patch. And I was like, yes. So I might be picking up some red with black centered perennial poppies. Speaking of poppies, I have a lot, and I like them, and I don't think I'm going to thin them anymore. I think I'm good. I do think I want to spend a little bit of time in my front garden and do a little bit of, I don't know, some kind of management to see if I can get it to be a little bit less yucky looking. I feel like my front garden looks pretty rough right now. There's a lot of weeds, and I think I want to take a little bit of time and just pull the weeds. We have a sweet something, a vine that has the word sweet in it. Japanese sweet, no. Sweet, it's not a sweet pea. It's something else that people like, but I don't like it. Honeysuckle, that's what it's called. I have a honeysuckle vine in my front yard that I don't care for, and it's very well established. So I pull out every part of it that I can, and it still takes over the front. By the time it takes over, I don't care anymore, but at this time of year, I like to get it as small as possible because of how like robust and vigorous it grows. Good morning, Michelle. Nice to see you this morning. Welcome back. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you haven't yet. Helps the channel grow. Anyway, I want to pull out the weeds. I want to transplant some of the Lily of the Valley. I know people hate Lily of the Valley, but if it's in a pot, I don't hate it. My older sister, if she knew that I was transplanting Lily of the Valley on purpose, she would be like, she would hate it. The Lily of the Valley is an absolute noxious weed where she lives. It tries to take over everything, and every single spring they pull out like 1,000 Lily of the Valley seedlings that have come up, and by the end of summer there's still Lily of the Valley that has made it to adulthood in her lawn, that she doesn't want it there. The way you are framed, the camera, you have a pink halo. I'm Mother Nature. So yeah, I think I want to grow some Lily of the Valley intentionally, so I think I'll put some into a pot in my backyard. I just have to find out which pot I want to put it into and make room, because there is currently no more room for plants. My plants are going to be very crowded, and I'm fine with that. That is the way that I like my plants, is to have them overcrowded. Like, I was planting for my sister, and she had put 6 basil plants inside of a space that was 6 feet by 3 feet. She put 6 basil plants, and she was like, I don't want to crowd them. And I was like, girlfriend, 6 plants in 3 feet by 6 feet? You have way more basil plants. So I put them in rows of 3, and then I ended up putting like 18 plants into the same amount of space in her garden bed. And she was like, are they too close? And I was like, no, girl, it's basil. They'll be fine. She likes to harvest a crazy amount of basil. It's her first year doing actual gardening, like with a garden. We built 2 garden beds for her earlier in the spring. And now she has tomatoes and peppers in one and basil in the other. And then I tucked a few flowers in. She won't notice because she only puts flowers in pots. And I was like, you want flowers with your tomatoes so that the bees come. You also want flowers with your basil so that you have something nice to look at. She was like, I don't care. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then you'll find out later when they bloom. So I put in a hollyhock and a malva with her tomatoes in the back corners. I put marigolds in with the basil and with the tomatoes and peppers. I added sweet alyssum all over the place. And it's basically just going to be a beautiful garden. And she has so many pots now that are all filled up with beautiful snapdragons. And just, it's going to be great. Her garden's going to be lovely. I already know my garden's going to be lovely. Currently, in my opinion, my garden is already lovely. But as the things get bigger, it's going to feel so good. Honestly, by the beginning of July, I feel like I'm going to have a really good full flower garden. Because I started everything too early. Which normally you would say don't do that. But I'm happy I did because spring took so long to arrive that at least my plants were going in very big. Although next year I think I would like to have a better grow system so that I can let them get bigger before they go outside. Anywho. God, I love a good coffee. Taking a good sip from a hot cup of good coffee is very, very nice. Anyway, feeling good, feeling pumped about the garden. It's pretty much my full focus right now, is just the outside of our home. It makes me feel very good to be out there and to stare at my little seedlings and to pull out little weeds. I was out there pulling weeds and my sister was like, how do you even know what you're doing? Because the plants are, there's like 1,000 plants. Like in a 1 foot by 1 foot space, there might be 100 little seedlings and I'm pulling out like 6. And then my sister or my friend last night will be like, how do you know which one you're pulling out? And I know which ones I'm identifying. Like I'm pulling out a lot of lady's thumb, I'm pulling out a lot of clover, and I'm pulling out a lot of attempted dandelions and attempted trees that are coming up. And I just pull them when I see them. And then I know what a poppy looks like. I know what all of my other seedlings look like, so I don't pull those up. But when you're looking at it, you're like, it looks like a pile of green, and then I pick out one small green thing from the pile of green. If you don't know plants, it just looks like silly, but I do know plants, so for me, it's very intentional. I'm really excited to have hollyhocks this year. I'm really hopeful that they could turn out like my neighbors. My neighbor that I got the hollyhocks from, hers are huge already, so I don't even know if mine are going to flower this year. I'm hopeful. Like my malva flowered, and I think I planted the hollyhock early enough that it should flower, but I mean, there is a chance that it'll be a next year problem, that I won't get any flowers this year. But next year I will also be getting black hollyhocks. I'm going to start those. I should honestly start those now and just start them inside and then bring them outside later, like in 6 weeks. But I also don't want to start any more seedlings. I want to take all of my plants outside today so that I can clean the house and know there is no soil coming in and out of the house anymore. It's hard. Getting the dirt out. It's just, there's dirt everywhere. If I just look onto a surface, it's not like there's dust. It's like there's actual soil just throughout my home right now. Like this table, you can't see it much, but I promise you, there is soil all over this table. So once we can get all of these out, I can do like a real good wipe down of everything, and then I can do a really good vacuum, and then I can open all the windows And then our house will be fixed and clean and beautiful. I still want to hire a cleaning lady at some point. Not like for every day or anything, just like once. I just want someone who cleans, like a professional, to come into my home and be like, it's disgusting. Or just like, it's fine, and clean it, you know? I just want a professional to tell me that I'm not broken. And that is why we hire professionals to do jobs that we are not good at. Like, I wouldn't do a renovation on my own. That's just not a good idea. I do not have the skill. Yeah, okay, I feel good about the purple now. It's a good choice. The purple is cute. Purple, then what? Then teal. Anyway. Oh, I wore a dress yesterday too. Julia picked me up with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth and Julia were both wearing blue and white dresses, so I went and changed and put on a blue and white dress. So there were three lovely ladies all dressed up for outside wearing blue and white dresses, and Elizabeth was just stomping around. I have managed to start and transplant one jalapeno plant. Everything else died. So I just waited and sprinkled seeds everywhere. Michelle, I feel genuinely horrible for you that everything else died. That's an awful feeling. Good for you for sprinkling the seeds around everywhere. That'll fix it for you. But the fact that you got one pepper transplanted is a big deal, because peppers are one of the most difficult things to grow from seed and transplant, in my opinion. I'll say the other thing that was really difficult for me to grow was impatiens. They all dampened off. All of mine died. Impatiens and the other one, there's impatiens. Yeah. Impatiens, petunias, and begonias. Begonias and impatiens, all of mine dampened off. So that means like they sprouted and then died. They just fall over, like the root rots. Also, I pulled 8 tomatoes growing wild in my sister's yard and transplanted. Ooh, those are going to be good tomatoes. If they made it through winter, grew on their own from seed in the spring, and now they're alive, that means those are the seeds you want to save seeds from. Those tomatoes will be the seeds you want to save. Because if they've made it through a winter where you live, it means that they're like robust for your region, you know? Oh, wow, then I did. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, anyway, the pepper plant surviving is a very big deal, in my opinion. I had planted, I believe I planted 12 or 24 peppers, and I had one at the time that it was time to plant. So I consider peppers a difficult thing to grow. My mom would disagree and be like, no, peppers are easy just like tomatoes, but that's because she has a greenhouse and a 45-year history of growing plants. I don't have that, so it's different. Am I supposed to use a different one each time? Do you think it matters? What? I don't want to give you a kiss. I want to crochet. They are okay. Well, that's good. I'm not growing tomatoes this year. It's not worth the space in my garden. It's not worth the space because I know how many tomatoes I would get from one tomato plant. It's just not worth it. If I had enough room for 4 tomato plants, I might do it, because 4 is a good amount. I did 6 and I have 1. 6 to 1 is much better than 12 to 1. So good for you. And I hope that pepper plant gives you 1,000,000 peppers. And maybe you can overwinter it next year. At the end of summer, when it's starting to get cold, before the pepper has lost its leaves from the cold, you don't want it to drop its leaves. You want to cut off all the leaves. So before winter weather starts hitting, like I would say in August, maybe the first week of September, you dig up the pepper, you shake off all the dirt that's on it, you repot it into a smaller pot, and then you cut off all of the branches and all of the leaves. So it's just a dead stick in soil. Water it, and then bring it inside and just, I don't even know where you're supposed to put it. I think you're supposed to do a cool, dark place to keep it asleep for the winter. But then you can bring it back out in the summer, and next year you'll have peppers early because it's farther along than the seedlings are, basically. In other countries, peppers are a perennial. In other countries where the weather does not kill them, peppers will just grow into a little tree. Look at jalapeno tree. I remember the first time I found out about that, I was like, wait a second, jalapenos can have like a woody stem, like a woody tree stump that grows branches like a little tree. And on the little branches like a tree, you have jalapenos. How cute. I have not had it work because I forget to water things, and I left it not in a cool, dark place, and instead I left it in a warm, dry place, and then it died by drying out. But, like, still worth trying, I think. When I have ground to plant in again, I'll do peppers and tomatoes, but until then, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be mainly flowers and herbs. I planted a bunch of basil out. I have a Danny sweet lemon basil. I didn't look it up. I just had seeds that I had traded with someone. Danny sweet lemon basil. Let's see what that is. It's an award-winning, intensely aromatic herb known for its robust citrus scent and flavor. It contains up to 65% more essential oils than other lemon basils, making it ideal for fish dishes. Okay. Sweet Danny. Developed at Purdue University and named after Daniela Simon, it was awarded the prestigious All-American Edible winner in 1998. Okay. Full sun, compact, strong growth. Thrives in warm weather. Okay, whatever. I have it, is the point, and that is the basil I'm growing. And it's going to be pretty and smell nice. I'm actually growing 3 kinds of basil. I'm growing purple basil, regular sweet basil, and sweet lemon Danny basil. I think I might have a Thai basil that came up on its own, but I don't know. I'll find out today. Some of the seedlings are just too small to tell at certain points, and every day I go and check to see if they're big enough for me to identify yet. And today may be a good day for that. I think I'll go out to do the front garden today, because I've already done everything I can in the back. I looked up jalapeno tree and it gave me a chain restaurant. Well, that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for perennial jalapeno. Because that's what they actually are, is perennial. We just let them die because we're not from the hot lands, we're from the cold lands. Oh, the cold lands. To be from the hot places. Someday, maybe. Also, I have a bump in my elbow that hurts. Maybe it's a bug bite or something. Doesn't feel like it. My coffee tastes Christmassy today. What should we make after the sweater, by the way? I don't have a plan because I have no inspiration to crochet right now, which sucks. I wish I had some more inspiration, but can't force it, you know? Maybe a granny square blanket. I haven't done one of those in a while, and they feel nice to do. With a small hook, maybe? That could be fun. A little bit of chicken fry. Cold beer on a Friday night. That's in my head right now. I wish I liked beer. So many songs are like, cold beer is so good. And when I see someone pour an ice cold beer into a cup, I'm like, oh yeah. Or when someone cracks a cold bottle of Corona, I'm like, oh yeah. And then I smell it. And then I hate it. And then I hate it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the smell of beer. I don't like the taste of beer. I might like the carbonation, but I don't even know because I don't like the flavor. Have you done a cat pod? I haven't done a cat pod. Do you think Pika needs one? We could do a cat pod. Pika could probably benefit from one. Actually, I'm going to be honest. The person who's going to take it is Toby. With different stitches. A little summer dress for Elizabeth. That's a good idea too. Although by the time I finish with the motivation I have right now, it'll be not summer anymore. Alas. Looking for a good tutorial. That's like it's essentially like a poof, but that's got a hole in it for the cat to get in. That you don't fill with poof, right? That's what you mean? Like a little cave for her to go inside. I think we could do that. Start with a circle. Yeah, I think that's doable. Corona with lots of lime, but I can't drink it anymore because of food allergies. See, the idea, when you see an ice cold Corona with a lime in it, it looks great. I look at it and I go, ooh, that looks crisp and refreshing. The color is the color of pee, but you know, people like that. And then I take a drink of it and I'm like, I don't like anything about it. I can't even like get past it. You know, like with wine, I can get past the parts that I don't like to find parts that I do like. I don't find any redeeming qualities about beer. And I wish I did, because there's breweries and there's people who are like, I like my beer a little hoppy. And I'm like, I don't like any of the things about beer. So emphasizing one trait won't fix the rest of it. And then people are like, try cider. It's not beer. And then I try cider and I'm like, it's still beer. Yeah, some of them use a ring to keep them open. Others are floppy. Oh, a ring to keep it open. I mean, I have, what you called, Willis? Embroidery hoops. I could use an embroidery hoop for the entrance so it stays open. I prefer cider. Of course. That's because beer is gross, so cider is better. But like, if I had to drink beer in front of people, I wouldn't be able to do it with a straight face. I could drink cider in front of people without them knowing I don't like it. I don't think I could drink beer in front of people without them knowing that I don't like it. Like, I can drink wine in front of people and they can believe that I enjoy myself. I can go, that's really full-bodied. I can fake wine. I can't fake beer. I'm like, it tastes like piss. It tastes like a burp. It doesn't taste good. And then they go, okay, well, we're all drinking it, Laura. No one asked for your direct opinion. And then I go, okay, well, now you all have it because you offered me beer and I had to give you my opinion. You ever have that happen? When you think someone's asking for your opinion and then that's not what it is. I also like some Radlers, but they have to be more juice than beer. Right, because the beer is bad. If the only way you like beer is to cover up the taste, it's like, I like red wine as long as it has Sprite and ice in it. Well, then you don't like red wine. You like to disguise red wine with Sprite and ice. You have to add sugar and cold to make red wine palatable. But people do that and they go, I like red wine, I just like it with Sprite and ice. That's not red wine, that's a cocktail. So I don't like beer. I wouldn't drink beer in a beer. What beer cocktail exists? What would you mix beer with ever? Sometimes brew pubs will also brew their own root beers. Ooh, that's interesting. A root beer could be cool. I wish that beer places had kombucha, because I like kombucha. I like tonic water. I like kombucha. I like carbonated water. Those things are not alcoholic, but they still can be fine, you know? Like, I can enjoy a kombucha like it's alcohol because you drink it slowly because of the flavor is not pleasant if you were to chug it. It's pleasant in small sips. So I think I could do like a kombucha. They should do a kombucha with beer. Beer places should have a kombucha. The problem is that breweries think that everyone likes the flavor of brewery beer, so they make everything flavored like brewery beer, even if they're like, it's like a small batch brewery. And I'm like, yeah, but like, couldn't you have one of the batches not taste like that? Michaelita, it's like a Bloody Mary with beer. Oof. Why would I want... Okay, a Bloody Mary... Isn't that tomato juice? Like a Clamato or a Caesar? A Bloody Mary. Is the red part tomato in a Bloody Mary, or is the red part strawberry juice? I feel like a Bloody Mary is a tomato-based, isn't it? Bloody Mary. Don't show me like a picture. Aww. Bloody Mary nasturtium is my first. Bloody Mary drink was my first search. Bloody Mary nasturtium. Bloody Mary cocktail. Let's see. The original Bloody Mary contains 7 ingredients. Okay, here we go. Let me see. We get Worcestershire, 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 black Worcester sauce, black pepper, celery salt, Tabasco, and lemon juice. and vodka and tomato juice. All right. Ooh, I like the idea of calling it a red snapper and then it has gin. A Bloody Maria is made with tequila. And the Caesar, a Canadian creation that features clamato juice. Disgusting. My brother likes Caesars, and I'm like, you're drinking tomato juice and clam juice with vodka in it. What are you mixing fish and tomatoes with vodka? In what world is that going to be good on your stomach? Like, if I mix fish with alcohol, I'm asking for trouble. So mixing fish and tomatoes acidic with vodka, I feel like that's not the vibe. But you know what? Some people love it, and I'm really happy for them that they found something that they like. But it's gross, so I'm sorry that what you like is gross. Some of our breweries do kombucha. Why is the word brewery coming out so weird out of my mouth lately? Basically, sangria, totally. Michelita is like a Bloody Mary, but with beer. It's Mediterranean. You call it whatever you want to call it. It's still gross. Why are we mixing tomatoes with alcohol? The only alcohol I want my tomato mixed with is vodka, and the only time I want that done is when they're giving it in my pasta. Vodka pasta. That being said, I'm happy that you have a drink that you like. And if it's refreshing and covers the flavor of the alcohol, more power to you. That being said, yuck. I do love a cocktail where you don't taste any alcohol, though, because there's so much going on. Like a coffee, what is it called? Not a margarita. Coffee martini? Espresso martini? Can you tell I don't go out in public and socialize and drink? But anyway, an espresso martini, that feels like it could be fun because you're like, ooh, it's bitter coffee. That's what I'm tasting, not vodka. Otherwise, I think I'd just go for a gin and tonic, or a gin and cranberry juice, or a gin and cranberry juice and Sprite. Like a vodka cran, except do it with gin. Do it up with gin. Gin me. Nope, that doesn't sound right. Anywho, at my friend's wedding, I probably won't be drinking because I don't typically drink, and I am going to be around a whole bunch of people that I haven't seen in a long time. Like, since university for most of them, which is like at least a decade ago. Ew. Stop. Hi. You're so good. You come here. She says, no thank you. Hey, baby. You wanna come? Do you wanna come sit with me? You wanna come sit on my shoulder? I'll come get you. Sorry, the birds wanna hang out. 1 second. You wanna come sit with me on my shoulder? I'll get you over here. Come on, Gary. Come on, Beelzebub. Come on. Here you go. There's a good girl. Hi, honey. How doing? How doing? Oh, thank you. Come on, Gary. Well, that seemed a little unnecessary. Hello, tiny bird. Hello. Hello, my tiny bird. Whoa. Breep, 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 breep. All right. Nice. Well, now I have 2 birds, and one is hiding or about to poop. I think he's hiding. Yeah, he's hiding. Okay. The older I get, the more coffee and alcohol I need to stay out past 10. Literally, when I'm at my older sister's place, I go visit and I hang out with her and the kids and just like enjoy my time. When I go visit, I have to have an afternoon coffee. Thank God. She has an espresso machine, which makes it feel luxurious, but I have to have an afternoon coffee at about 4 o'clock or I won't make it to the end of the day with the kids. Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but it's become part of the problem for me. I need to have the caffeine in the afternoon. Look, I scared Gary by touching him. Have a kiss? Kiss. Kiss. Thank you. Kiss. 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 Thank you. Goofy birdies. You want this? Ooh. No? What can I give you that you can play with? Ooh, here's a piece of paper. Here, I'll put it right here, and then you can have it if you want. I like a good coconut lime mojito. I'm a rum drink kind of girl if I have anything. I don't know what it's about, but I'm really, really not a rum girly at all. Oh, you want that paper again? Here. You want it? No? All right. Usually they want it, but all right. What did I drop? Oh, you dropped that one. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a big fan of rum. I'm not a huge fan of vodka. I can tolerate vodka. I don't really like rum, though. And my preferred alcohol is gin. That being said, I drink maybe 3 times, 4 times a year. So, like, when I say, like, my preferred drink is gin, I mean that with, like, my preferred drink on those 4 times a year is gin. We went to Costco yesterday, my sister and we took Elizabeth, obviously. And we were going around Costco with little Betty, and she tried all the samples at Costco, which is wonderful. She's a very good eater. And then we tried coconut water, and she drank a whole, like, shot of coconut water from the little sample cup. And then afterwards, she looked at me and she was like, and I was like, you can't have any more. It's got a lot of sugar in it, honey. And she was like, her eyes were wide, like she had had drugs. And I was like, it's coconut water. I know, it's so yummy. She was obsessed. No added sugar, but still high in sugar, just natural sugars. Elizabeth is so cute. And she just started, like, talking. And she, like, she understands English now fully. Like, before it was like you could just talk around her and it was fine. Now, when I'm with her, I have to tell her everything that's happening, or she'll get upset if she doesn't understand what's going on. So I'll say, like, for example, my sister dropped her and I off at the house and then went to go pick up the boys from school. So Elizabeth is 1 year and 2 months old. She's just a baby. She's walking now. So I'll say she's wearing too much clothes because it's hot out, and she was wearing enough clothes for the morning, but now it's hot. So I say, do you want to go find a new outfit? Mom said we should get you some shorts. And she goes, yeah. Clear like that. Not yeah, like yeah. And then I go, okay, do you want to walk upstairs or do you want to carry me to carry you? And then she goes, up. And then walks over to me and puts her arms up. And I go, okay, I'll carry you. And then we go upstairs and I say, do you know where your shorts are? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, is it in this drawer? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, this one? Yeah. This one? Yeah. Okay. And then there's shorts in there. She was literally telling me the truth, and she was right. So then I say, okay, I'm going to take off your shirt first. And then she goes like this. Like she's trying to take it off. She's a baby, so she's not, like, effective at undressing. So then I take her shirt off, and then she took her pants off. And I was like, do you need a new diaper? And she looked down, pointed at the little stripe. There's a stripe on the front of diapers now that turns blue if they've peed, and it's clean, like white if they haven't peed, so you know when you need to change a diaper. She looked down, pointed at the stripe, and went, nah. I was like, you're right, the stripe is still clean. You didn't go pee. And then she went, yeah. And then I put a whole new outfit on her, and then I said, okay, do you want to go downstairs now? And she went, yeah. And she walked over to the door. Like, she's literally, like, she understands conversational English. She doesn't speak yet, but she knows what we're saying. And when I say, like, stop, we have to stay on the grass because I didn't put shoes on you, so you have to stay on the grass. She goes, yeah. And then she walks towards the sidewalk, looks back at me, and then I go, nope, on the grass, and she sits down on her bum and then goes like, she's very, very clever now. And she really does understand. Maybe I anthropomorphize her a little bit more. Like, maybe I act as though she understands a little more than she actually does. But I truly do believe she generally understands everything. Like, if you say, can I have a hug? She'll run excited over to you for a hug. If you say, can I give you a kiss? She'll lean her head towards you. If you say, clap, 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 she understands what the words mean now. And it's crazy because when I'm talking to her, like when I'm alone with her, I just chit chat with her. When I'm with my sister, generally we're talking like it's like a conversation everyone's having. But when I'm just with her, I have no one else to talk to. So I just sit there and I chat with her. And she knows what I'm talking about, and she answers me in her own way. And it makes me feel like really, I remember when Alistair started being like alive and real, she's like real now. Like if I ask her what she wants, if I go, do you want something to eat? She'll go, yeah. And I go, do you want a banana? And she'll go, and that means I want half a banana in this hand and half in this hand. It's very cute. Very, very cute. And like, even when I was putting sunscreen on her, I was like, we got to put sunscreen on. And she went, yeah. And then I was like, was that a no? Because I'm putting it on you. We have to put it on if you want to go outside. Yeah. Well, if you want to go outside, we have to put sunscreen on. And she went, and then sat down. And then I said, can I have an arm, please? I need to put sunscreen on. And she went, and I put sunscreen on her. And then I said, okay, other arm. And she went, and it was like easy. I could have put my son on a blanket in the yard. He wouldn't leave it. He didn't like the feeling of the grass. Elizabeth is a mud monster truck boy. Literally, like, every time we dress her up, we put her hair in a little ponytail because we're like, she looks like a boy because she rams into everything. I don't know how many times people have said, oh, he's so sweet. And we're like, nope, that's just a little, like, tornado of a girl. But we just say, yeah, isn't he though? Because it doesn't matter. People who will never see her again, I don't need to correct about what's between her legs. That's weird. So when people go, he's so cute, I go, I know, my favorite. Because again, with attitude, that's cute. I know, because that means she understands, doesn't want to, but will do it because she has to. Like, knowing that is pretty cool, I think, for a little baby. She's so smart. She's a smart little girl. Knows so much stuff for how little she is. I think she's more advanced than Alistair was at this age because she has Alistair. He can read, eh? Like, he can read words. He can read books. Julia said she was having a bad headache the night before last night, and she said, I'm sorry, honey. I can't read you a story right now. I can't even look at the letters. And he said, that's okay, Mummy. Can I read you a story? And Julia said, yep, of course. And he read an entire book to her. Like, it's called, like, My Rat Sam. It's, like, all 3 and 4 letter words, but, like, it's still a book, and it has, like, 12 pages. Like, it's a book. And he read the whole thing to her. And she was like, my child can read. He can read. He can count to 40, and he can read. What? It's awesome. He's amazing. And, like, he's not even 4. He turns 4 in September. He's 3. And still, when he's reading, my sister's a teacher, so she puts words all over the walls in her house, from the highest height that Alistair can reach to the ground. There's like cue card sized things all over all of the walls. It looks a little kind of like an insane person is trying to solve the crime. But it's actually just Alistair is learning to read. So she wrote all of the different word groups, like AG makes the sound ag, bag, lag, drag. You know what I mean? Like all these words that end in AG, and then it'll be like AD, dad, bad, sad, mad, and he will go mad, mad. That means like mad. Like he knows. It's not just like he's memorizing and repeating. He's comprehending, understanding, and like able to explain what he's doing. He's very, very clever, and we're all very proud of him. And I will say, I wish Julia would switch the words around more, because every single time I come over, he wants to read every word on the wall, and there's got to be 200 or 300 words at this point on their walls. It's a little wild. There's got to be 200 words on the walls around the house. Just like with sticky tack, a cue card is stuck to the wall with a word on it. And he can read all of them. He just walks around, he goes like, flag. I'm like, yep, that's what that says. He's just, yeah, it is fabulous. Honestly, it makes me feel amazing to see him be so smart. And I'm also having so much fun watching Elizabeth like come to life. Obviously, she's been alive for a year and 3 months, but I explain it as their personality is like deep inside, and as they get a little bit older, their personality gets to come closer to the surface, and then as they get older, their personality gets to actually jump out and then come back, jump out and then come back. And Elizabeth she's right about at the surface. She's like, she as a person, parts of her are here now. parts of the 5-year-old that I'm going to love are here now. So I'm excited about that. I think that's really cool. I remember when I saw Alistair, like, becoming Alistair, and I was like, oh, he's like a person who has thoughts, feelings, and opinions. That's where Elizabeth is at. She's like a person with thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And I love it. She's a person that I love. She's a sweet, fat little baby. She's not very fat anymore, though, because she's getting tall. This thing happens with babies that is kind of heartbreaking, in my opinion, and it's that they get so fat, and then they turn like 11 months old, and then they stop looking fat because instead of getting fatter, their bodies start stretching. So all of the fat that they've accumulated in their beautiful big old cheeks and their big fat wrists starts stretching out as they get longer and taller. So Elizabeth doesn't have the same rolls that she had before. Now she has like a toddler gut because she's walking around. But every time that I'm like, oh, my fat baby, every time I see my sister now, I'm like, thanks for having a baby for me. Appreciate this baby you got for me. You know, when people say, like, I don't want my mother-in-law to call my baby her baby, like, when they go like, oh, my baby. No, this is my baby. That one's your baby. I don't have that with Julia. I tell her, thank you for making my baby. Come here, baby. This is my baby girl. My sister made a baby for me, and it's Elizabeth. Alistair, she made that for her. Elizabeth is my baby. So, and I keep saying that, and Julia doesn't feel anything about it because it's me, and it's obviously like, I'm not saying anything by it. I'm just saying how much I love her. But God, whenever I see her, I go, my baby, this is my baby girl. She is my baby niece. She's just not my baby daughter. But let me tell you, Julia definitely made that baby thinking that it was for her and her family, but she actually made it for me. So thanks, Jules. Thanks for my baby. I didn't say she's my daughter. She's just my baby. She's gonna be a not baby soon, though. She's so cute. Oh, God, I love her. I wish I could show you this picture of her that I took yesterday. I put my hat on her, and she's so fucking cute. She's so cute. She still has a very good fat face. Also, she has the most beautiful, like, green hazel eyes. She's so cool. She's so cool. She's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna make her into a mess of a human. She's also left-handed, which is why she and me are best friends. The birds are so cute. I know, sometimes they just ask to come over here. It hasn't been happening lately on the stream, but I see you're in a good mood, though. I hear you crunching your beak. Yeah, you in a good mood? Good. Anyway, they're crunching their little beaks. Beak grinding is a good sign. It's a good sound for birds. Why are you guys trying to get closer to the mic? You want to see the mic? No? You just want to be on this shoulder? Give me a kiss. Mwah. Thank you. I have that cringe when my mother-in-law says my Ada or my Elisa. Yeah. And when the first babies were born in our family, that was totally there, Louisa. Like, and I don't think I would say that about my older sister's kids. And I don't think I would say it about anybody else's kids. In my family, we don't call anyone mine. We don't anyone mine. Yeah. They're all yours. But no, my sister, my little sister, she knows what I mean because I can say it because she understands. Like, if my mother-in-law were to say, like, oh, my baby, where's my baby? No, this is your grandbaby. But I think because Julia knows that I'm deeply obsessed with her children, she doesn't mind. Also, she knows that I'm not, like, claiming that I'm raising them or anything. But Elizabeth is definitely my baby that I will steal. Also, you know how I know she's my baby? Because when I come over, she desperately runs over to me and goes, and then when I pick her up, she gives me like a 2 full minute long hug, head resting, hard holding me. That's my baby. But at the same time, I would not tolerate other people calling my baby their baby. So I understand. I would not be able to tolerate if, like, my mom was like, oh, give me my baby. Whereas when I come to Julia's house, I'm like, give me my baby. Give me her. She's mine. No one else. Yeah. I don't think it would be appropriate if anyone else called the baby her baby. But Elizabeth is my baby when I'm there. Julia is not really allowed to hold Elizabeth when I'm over. If I'm at the house, Elizabeth is my baby. Pretty much. I don't want her to, like, she obviously goes to Julia because Julia's her mom, and she goes to Andrew because Andrew's her dad. But, like, when I arrive, can I tell you something? When Alex came to pick me up yesterday, she ran to him, had him pick her up, and then gave him, like, a minute-long hug. And he was just like, "Aww." And she, like, loved it. She ran over to him and hugged him. It's awesome. Alex is, like, an actual uncle for her. That is so, so cute. It's another level of communication. Yes, totally. Elizabeth and Julia and I have a very clean relationship where if any of it made her unhappy, she would just say it to me. Don't call her your baby. She's my baby. But I think Julia is very happy that Elizabeth has so many people who love her, and it doesn't feel like ownership when I call her my baby, and it doesn't feel like I'm taking any claim on her when I call her my baby. It's like when Alistair was a baby and I called him baby, and then he would go, "I'm not a baby, I'm a big boy." And I would go, "Yeah, but I love you, so you're a baby." Her uncle Alex, yeah. She, like, really loves him. And when he comes over and sits on the couch, she climbs up onto his lap and she'll bring him a book to read her, and she'll pull on his beard, and she looks at his glasses, and she loves when he smiles at her. He's like, she really likes Alex. Which is crazy, because Alistair liked Alex, but we all thought it was wild that Alistair liked Alex. Elizabeth, like, loves Alex. She, like, thinks he's cool and exciting, and also loves when he picks her up. I think it's just because he's so big and weird and different, and when he comes over, he's, like, quiet. He's, like, very easy to approach for a child. But she loves him, and it's cute. God, I love babies. For someone who has no kids, I gotta tell you, I'm really good with babies. I should be a nanny, but only for babies. Like, babies between the ages of newborn and 2. Anything up to 2 years old, I'm 100% into. 2 to 3-year-olds, only if I love them, so that won't work for me. Like, I couldn't watch someone else's 2-year-old, because I would be like, I hate your child. But if it was a 2-year-old I'm related to, I think it would be fine. But generally, oops, I forgot to do an important step. That's okay. I just have to pull one row out. Anyway, she was so cute at Costco, obviously. Everyone commented. Oh, I had many compliments on my hat yesterday, and I just want you guys to know, when I go out in public wearing my handmade hat. Oh, ew. I had an interaction with a man yesterday. First of all, trash most of the time. I would say like 9 out of 10 interactions that I have with men, negative. Probably because I'm the negative one, but that's besides the point. I don't need to hear that. This is the story that happened. Are you ready? You're going to be like, ew, I hate men. So a man comes up to me smiling, and he said, "Wow, your hat is so neat. I love your hat." And I said, "Thanks, I made it." And he went, "Really? You made that hat?" And I said, "Yes." And I thought, that's so nice. He complimented. Let's leave it there. No, this one. He said, "Well, I guess you don't have a job." And I said, "Excuse me?" And then he said, "Well, where are you getting all the time to be able to make that?" A man said, "I like your hat." And I said, "Thanks, I made it." And he said, "Oh, so I guess you don't have a job then?" And I said, "Pardon me?" And he said, "Well, where are you getting all the time to make that?" And I said, "It is my job." And he said, "Oh," I was like, "I'm a teacher. This is what I teach." And he was like, "Oh, I was just, And I was like, "Also, I can have a full-time job and a hobby. Do you golf?" I didn't get that far, but like, ew. "Oh, so you must not have a job then, because how do you have the time to do that?" First, what a weird approach. What a weird thing to say to someone you've never met before. That you came up, did you come up to compliment, and if I had just said thank you, you would have walked away? And everything would have been fine for me? Like, I don't understand what part of his brain thought, let's keep this conversation going. This is the good way for this conversation to go. This makes sense. Let me just ask, so you don't have a job then? And I was like, first of all, why are you making me feel any kind of way? Second of all, how dare you? Third of all, trying to make it like I'm lazy for having a handmade thing. Must be a Republican. Well, we don't have those here. We have conservative and liberal. He must be a conservative. I think I have to count 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, I felt like gross about that because it started off so pleasant for me. I like your hat. Thanks, I made it. Really? Yeah. So then you don't have a job then? Pardon me? Well, when would you have time to do all of that? What the fuck? I don't know you, sir. So that's how I felt, was really grossed out. And also because when he approached me, I had a big smile to say hello. Even though generally, I will be honest with you, if men approach me, I try not to smile. Like I make an effort consciously in my head, if a man approaches me, not to go, yeah, hi. Because that means that you are available to whatever they wanted to do or ask. Anytime that a man approaches me smiling, that I'm smiling, I leave the conversation like, if I had not been as friendly, would they have not been as gross? So then I make an effort to, if a man says, excuse me, I look over, yes. Like I try not to be like, yeah, how can I help you? Because I don't want to help you. Anyway, I'm not a people hater. I just generally hate men. I just feel like overall, it sounds so like, oh, you're a man-hating lesbian. But it's like, no, it's not that. It's, on average, the way that a man talks to another man is not the way that a man talks to a woman. And I'm often with a man who is being talked to by men. And I'm often with a big, strong, handsome man. So then when I ask a question, other men will answer him. And it makes me hate men. You know what Alex and I were actually talking about the other day? I was saying to him how big he is, and I was asking if when he's out walking, can he tell when women are afraid of him? Or is it just something he just ignores completely? And he said to me, he can see it when a woman sees him and decides to cross the road. He can see it when a woman walks past him or when he's walking past a woman and they speed up or they look back a lot of times. He does see it. And he said to me something, I felt so bad for the guy. He's so sweet. But Alex said, when that happens, I want to like reach out and be like, it's okay. I'm not a threat. I actually have a chihuahua and a wife at home. Like I'm just on a walk. But he can't even do that because that would be like assault to a woman who's not prepared to have a man talk to them. If a man like Alex approached me in the street and said, don't worry, I'm not a creep, it doesn't work that way. So Alex instead said what he does is he tries to just be as like in his own world as possible when he's on his walk so that it doesn't feel to women like he's lurking after them. Because he's big and bearded and tall and a man with long hair. He's intimidating looking, but anyway, he's intimidating looking. So he's aware that women see him and feel fear, and he has to like navigate that while wanting to be like, I'm not dangerous, I promise. Julia said that we should start getting Alex more bright colored clothes because he wears a lot of black, and if he wore like a rainbow shirt, women might see him and be like, probably not a threat. That guy's probably not a threat. He's too weird now. But yeah, I'm sorry you felt that way. These people don't know what times have changed and that it's not the way to talk, at least to a stranger. Yeah, right? And probably, in reality, the man was probably just making a joke and it didn't land. So, oh my God, another old man picked up Elizabeth off the floor. I took her out of his hands. And I went, no, please, excuse me, please don't pick her up. Oh, well, she fell down. I was just helping her up. No, he picked her up. She was off the floor in his arms. It was very stressful for me because it was my job to watch her, and Julia wasn't actively watching her, and then a stranger touched her, and I was like, ugh! The COVID flashbacks happened where I was like, don't touch my baby! I didn't yell at them. I just said, oh, no, thank you. She's fine. Ugh. Don't reach for strangers' babies. Also, totally, Louisa. I know it was harmless, and it was a harmless comment from an old man, but, like, when it happens, I'm like, this brother would never have said that about a man. If a man had a handmade hat on, if a man had something that looked like it took a lot of time, I don't know. I hate men, except the ones I love. It's unfortunate that as a woman, there's an instinctive response to men that is so guarded. Yes, it's unfortunate, but it's also because men rape and kill women. Sorry for the hard language, but if we were to look at the case of rape and murder and the number of those two things that were done by men and the number of those things done by women, it would be... It makes sense to be guarded. Because yes, not all men, but men. It's but men. And I actually think all men. When they say not all men, it's not all men. Like, why are all men being hated on? Because all men would do crimes. All men are equipped with weapons. Just because they're bigger than us. Like, Alex is bigger than me, so even if I'm fighting my hardest and he is untrained, he can still overpower me, no doubt. I am in a loving, committed relationship with someone who could kill me physically with his strength. I've made a decision that I trust that he never would. But do I trust that every man who could overpower me would never choose to? No, of course not. I don't know any of them. I know Alex, so I'm willing to, but like, you should cross the street if you're alone at night and a man is approaching you. Like, you should not treat it. You should not doubt your gut feelings. And if a woman feels scared when she sees Alex, good, cross the street. He's friendly, you don't know it. It's just like when a wild animal is scared of people and they're like, oh, I wish they would approach me. I'm like, I'm glad they're not approaching you. Like, if I feed a squirrel and it's friendly to me, I scare it off after. I don't go like, have a good day. I go like, rah, because I don't want them to go back to other people. Absolutely not. Yeah, so men are dangerous. And even though lots of them don't do anything with their ability to be dangerous, some of them do. And they all have the capacity. Whereas I don't think all... Like, if I really do believe in my heart of hearts, truly, if you put 1,000 men into a space... If you put 1,000 men each into an individual room and you gave them an unconscious woman... I don't think it would be 1,000 men walking out there with clean hands. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you put 1,000 women into 1,000 rooms with 1,000 unconscious men, I think 0 men would be assaulted. That's just my opinion. Obviously, there's rules that get broken. I just think on average, when people say not all men, I'm like, actually all men. In the right situation, all men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry that I'm such a hater. If you're a boy and you came here and this is what you are receiving this morning, sucks to suck. Be aware that women see you as a threat and try and be a better person so that you're not a threat to women who are just out living their life in the world. Alex gets to just put a podcast on and go for a 2-hour walk in the middle of the night with no stress. I could never do that. I could never have headphones on if I went walking at night because I have to have my awareness. He doesn't. He could just wander around. No one's going to approach him and put him in danger. Enough do to create that fear of men. Exactly. If enough women have that fear of men, it's coming from somewhere. It's not a made-up fear that we have, you know? I don't know any woman my age who has not been assaulted. It doesn't have to be... what's the other word for it? Sexual... Not sexual assault, the other one, like where they grab you, but they didn't actually assault you. Sexual harassment. Every woman I know in the world that I've ever met has been sexually harassed, and almost every woman I know has been sexually assaulted. Almost everyone. Not always to the same extent. I'm not talking the same exact levels, but every single one has. Sorry, I know it's getting dark for some reason now. We're just talking a dark topic, but I'm just saying. I don't know how many men have been assaulted, but I do know that for women it's a lot more. Okay, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you're a man and you're stopping by here going, oh, she hates men, that's so mean of her. Maybe instead look at it like, look at all of your boyfriends, your friends who are guys. Have any of them, or would any of them, do anything like that, if you can say 100% certainty no, then you don't know your friends. I'm just saying. And men don't correct that behavior in each other. Like, if a woman is saying something super vulgar and inappropriate, her female friends are going to be like, ew. Whereas if a man is saying things that are crazy, their friends are like, oh, he's just the way Johnny is. They don't be like, Johnny, you can't do that. That's disgusting. Gotta run. Nothing to do with the conversation topic. Lol. Bye. Okay, bye, Melissa. Thank you for letting me know it's not about the topic. But have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on Friday. And I'll have, hopefully, a bunch of good news where the doctor told me there is 0 skin cancer on me. Wouldn't that be nice? I have to find all my moles tonight. I have to, like, circle all my moles. Anyway. Men are trash. Women rule. Boys drool. Girls rule. Boys have cooties. And that, I'm saying all of these things as a parallel universe to the reality that I live, which is that gender is a social construct. So understand that I believe trans people are people, trans women are women, trans men are men, all that, non-binary, valid, all that stuff is good. It's a separate parallel world where I'm doing the man-woman stuff. I don't want to offend anyone or come off as transphobic, because I'm definitely not. Well, I can't say I'm definitely not. I actively try not to be. I am actively working. I'm anti-transphobic. You know, like anti-racist. I'm anti-transphobic. I'm doing my best. Sometimes I say things that may come off as transphobic, but I don't mean to. Luckily for me, I have a very close friend who I hang out with all the time, who is all the time. I hang out with her once a month, and she is very... Did you poo? Ugh, you suck sometimes, Gary. Right on my chair? Jerk. Anyway, neither here nor there. So, now I'm on the coral orange of the second body piece. I can finish my coral and then go back into the yellow, and then we're gonna have to decide what's next. I think we have to do the confetti yarn next. That's what I think will be our best bet. And then we'll be good to go. We do need to figure out how much yarn we have of each color, though, which is super fun, really enjoyable to do. JK. Can I tell you something? I know there's only 30 minutes left of today's live stream, and when I looked up and saw that, I got really excited because I'm going to go outside and play with my plants. Not because I'm not going to be hanging out with you guys, but because I'm going to be outside with my plants, and that's exciting. Okay, I'm going to put the birds a little closer to the microphone so that you can hear what they're doing. So you can hear that this is what a happy sound is for a parrot. They do little crunchy beak noises. I don't know if you could hear it. I've been making my own coffee creamer. It's much less expensive and tastes better. Please tell me what that means. What do you mean you make your own coffee creamer? Tell me what that means. Explain your process. Do you use a powder or do you use like liquid cream and flavors? Because that's cool. Either way. And if it's a cream powder, tell me how, because we buy powder coffee creamer because we don't go through regular cream at a fast enough rate to make it make sense for us. So I would love to know what you're doing for your coffee creamer. Cool. There, chain one. I just got my first little kit thing to learn how to crochet. Any tips? Hey there, Milky Way cupcakes. Good morning. Ooh, almost there. 23 out of 30 followers. Yay! I have a goal on my Twitch to have 30 followers, and I have 23, so thank you for joining. Milky Way, let me think. For any tips for crochet beginner with a kit. Honestly, if it was me, I'm guessing your kit is amigurumi because everybody seems to buy those as their first kit, and that's difficult in my opinion to start with. So if it's amigurumi, I would say get yourself a cheap ball of yarn and make yourself a dishcloth or a hat, something that's just a flat rectangle to start with, so that you have success right away. Because I feel like with crochet, one of the things you need to have is success early, so that you have the motivation to keep going and keep making. Because if you start with an amigurumi and it's super difficult, then you're going to be like, why does it not look right? But if you're making a straight line, it's a lot easier to see where your mistakes are, which is good for learning. Count stitches, use stitch markers. So counting stitches is probably a good thing to do when you're starting. Using stitch markers, I feel like that is like later on, don't you think? Stitch markers would be useful, but I feel like no one actually gets into using them until they're making like garments. Did I just touch more bird poo? Do you guys even care about me at all? You're so rude. I just got bird poo on my arm. Is there any on my shirt? No. Okay, good. I'm gonna put you guys back on your cage so I can go use the kitchen and get a napkin. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Dang birds. Get birds, they said. It will be fun, they said. Who's they? Me. I'm they. I said it would be fun. I said, please, Alex. All I've ever wanted was a couple of parrots. Can I please have these parrots, Alex? And he said, of course, my love. You may bring whatever zoo animals into our home that you wish. And then I do, and then sometimes it's the wrong decision. It was not the wrong decision this time. Birds rule. And boys drool. Oh my god, my spine is so angry. My tailbone is so mad at me. I didn't do anything. Why are you mad? Okay, there's water. Good. 3 ingredients, and it lasts for a week or so. Okay, let's see. We have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk and 1.5 a can of milk with some vanilla and shake. Okay, a can of sweetened condensed milk and 1.5 cans of milk with some vanilla. Do you mean 1.5 cups of milk and vanilla? That sounds nice. Who doesn't like a sweetened condensed milk? Do you know when Alex was a kid, back in the old country, Alex is from Belarus, when he was a kid, sweetened condensed milk was like a treat to eat. Like, oh my god, there was a murder flying above my backyard and one of them pooped on my head. At least you know what your birds eat. Ew.
Buy a lottery ticket.
You should buy a lottery ticket, Alex says. He's been saying that a lot lately, and I think he just heard it from some like boomer on the internet because he says it all the time right now.
Oh, it's all by myself for myself.
You did it all by yourself for yourself? I use the can to measure. Oh, okay, cans of milk. Understood. Got it. I was like, milk don't come in cans here, girl. But sweetened condensed do. Anyway, he used to eat that stuff when he was a kid. Him and his sister would like have a spoonful of sweetened condensed milk. And I'm like, that's gross. But that's fine. Everyone will survive. Gosh.
Does this come with sauce by any chance?
It should have.
Oh.
But if you put a little bit, like drizzle olive oil and then squirt a little mustard and shake it,
Yeah.
that'll work for you.
Okay.
Probably like a big, a glug.
I'm gonna do that.
Oh, do you want me to do it for you and bring it to you later?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll make I can make you an actual salad dressing. I just wanted you to be able to do something quick. I forgot the salad dressing for the salad I bought. I use the can to measure. I've seen it in a tube in the grocery store. Milk or sweetened condensed milk? Ew, a tube. I've seen ground beef in a tube, and I don't like the way that looks. What number croissant are you on today, Alex?
First one.
Okay.
Catching up from yesterday.
I gave Alex a limit. I bought Costco croissants, and yesterday he pulled one out at nighttime and started munching on it, and I was like, how many croissants have you had today? And he was like, I don't know, 1. And I was like, okay, the max limit per day is 3. Not because I'm concerned about your health or the calories or the fat or any of that. It's that there's only 12 of them, and if you eat them as you want, they'll all be gone tomorrow. Yes, I'm being real. Alex will fully eat 12 croissants over the course of a 12-hour day because they're so good and easy to eat, and they're small. They squish up small, basically 1 bite. So I had to say maximum, you're allowed 3 a day, because I want to have a few days where I get a croissant and I don't want to package them up separately for myself. And he said, okay. So that's nice. Oh God, yes, you have to limit those. You have to limit them or else, because they're so tasty. And I can limit myself in my brain. Alex cannot. Alex has to be told. I have to hide chocolate in our home because Alex and I will just eat through it. So all really good candy and chocolate is stored in the freezer here. Because the only place that is safe is the freezer. Because you forget that it's in the freezer, and you don't go into the freezer unless you're looking for something specifically. So, like, if I have it in the fridge, which is where I used to keep treats, you open the fridge 100 times a day, you know what I'm saying? So, you see the treats, so then you end up eating them. You don't open the freezer 100 times a day. So, we managed to keep chocolate in stock for at least a week when it's stored in the freezer. You can't store croissants in the freezer. They stay on the table. And they're so tasty. And buttery. I love a croissant when it gets your fingers all greasy after. I'm going to have a croissant for lunch. I did have a croissant for breakfast. 3 maximum. I'm going to put that limit on me too. I could genuinely eat probably like 6 of them just like at one, like when not in one sitting, like in 1 minute. I think I could just like shove myself through 6 croissants. Because they're so tasty. I love a croissant. Oh no, I've run out of yarn. I think I'm going to pull back so I don't have a knot halfway through. Because I won't like that. Ew, I'm going to hate weaving in these ends. But it'll be nice. I'll do a good job. We have to pee again. Rude. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. I probably have told you many times, but I'm going to tell you again. My sweet peas, I'm going to count them today. I'm going to count how many sweet peas have sprouted. I'm pretty sure it's close to 100. Like, I'm pretty sure we have close to 100 sweet peas sprouted. And at this point, knock on wood, they're probably safe. So we may end up with 100 sweet pea vines, which would be great. I did plant just hundreds and hundreds of sweet peas. I planted many seed packets worth of snapdragons, and I'm very excited. No, not snapdragons, sweet peas. What did that even happen? I've planted very many varieties and very many individual seeds of sweet peas. Most likely, the sweet peas are going to be like popping off. When are they supposed to start blooming? When do sweet peas bloom? June and July. Well, mine are definitely not going to bloom yet because they are currently 12 inches tall, but they are beautiful and they're a good strong 12 inches. So that's good. Let's see, who are we watching with in the Facebook? Okay, and then YouTube and then Twitch. Hi Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Ugh. I hide treats, forget about them, and then buy more, and I also hide them. Yeah. Do you forget about them or does your husband find them? Because I don't forget about my treats, but they stop being around. I will say I don't eat as much chocolate anymore because of the link to cold sores. I don't eat them very much, eat chocolate very much, but that makes it last longer too. It's like you need to find a treat that you love that you're mildly intolerant to. Like if you're lactose intolerant, make your favorite treat a special kind of like cheesecake or something, you know? So that you're like, I only want to eat that treat once in a while. Just try and limit your treats to things you're allergic to, and then you won't have to worry about eating them. For me, yes, exactly. I love treats. Treats are so good. I bought a bag of dates yesterday because my dates are almost empty. Need new dates. Hopefully lots of good soft ripe ones in here. That'd be great. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Thank you. Kiss. Mwah. Thank you, baby. I wouldn't ever eat sweets if I was the one going to the grocery store. Unfortunately, my husband brings so much home, and if it's in the house, I have no control. Milky Way, same. If it's in the house, I have no control. Like my little sister, she has self-control, but she loves junk food. So if you open her pantry, there's like a shelf dedicated to the tastiest things. There's like multiple Kit Kat bars, a bag of M&Ms, a bag of gummy bears, chips, cookies, just treats of all kinds. And they just stay. Whenever she wants something, she can go to there and grab a chocolate bar. Can you imagine having stock of chocolate bars? Do you buy multiples of chocolate bars? I buy one chocolate bar when I go and buy one because I'm going to eat it. Whereas my sister has, like, in her pantry, chocolate. And you could go in there and find a Toblerone and just break off of a Toblerone at any time of year. It's like, it's absolutely wild. And I couldn't live that way because I couldn't have the stock. That would be the snack that I choose every time I want a snack until it's done. You know? Like brie cheese. That's my snack until the brie is done. I will have that as my snack. So, I don't know how people keep their homes stocked with junk food. I get junk food, pretty much I get some kind of junk food every week. But, like, it's with the knowledge that by the end of the week, there will be no junk food in our home. Like, you can't have, like, one of those days where you're like, I just wish I could have something tasty and find it in my pantry. No, you have to go out and get something tasty. I have food, but I do not have many treats. It's okay, though. I don't have any self-control. I have a very addictive personality, and if I like something and I want it, I'll have it. And if I have it in my home, I'll have it. It's why I can't keep cannabis in my home when I'm on a THC break, because if it's in the house, I will use it. Like, Laura, just make the decision not to. No, that's what I'm saying. If I've made the decision not to do something, I need it all the way gone so that I can't do it. And then it's all good and everybody's safe and fine. But if it's in the house, I'm using it. Whatever it is, I'm using it. I'm glad I never got into hard drugs because I tell you what, I'd be using them. But I didn't get into them when I was young, so everything is okay. And such as. Alex always brings me a treat when he goes out, but now he knows that I can't have chocolate, so I say I can't have it. I totally could eat as much chocolate as I want. The risk of getting a cold sore for me is too high. So I'm not willing to have a cold sore in order to enjoy chocolate. I love chocolate, but I'm not willing to exchange chocolate for a cold sore, so I'm just not eating a lot of chocolate, basically. Same, I also hate wasting money, so nothing is just getting thrown away. Exactly. Even though I'm full, I'm not throwing it out, so I guess I better just finish the whole chocolate bar. I also hate wasting money. I hate wasting money. I'm such a deal freak. Who was in Vancouver? Was it you who's in Vancouver? Somebody's in Vancouver. Did I miss who it is? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Half Bread is from Vancouver Island. That's not you then. Half Bread is from Vancouver Island. We love that. It's from Bona Vista to Vancouver Island. From somewhere else to somewhere else. This land was made for you and me. Remember that one? I have to have a chocolate stash. It's a must. I honestly don't. I don't need to have one. To the Redwood Forest. Okay. From Bona Vista to Vancouver Island. From the Redwood Forest to the... From the Redwood Forest to the Prince Edward Island to the Gulf Stream waters. No, that's yours. We don't have the Gulf Stream waters here. Here in the Canadian. Canada, this land was made for you and me. Let's see. This land is your land. This land was made for you and me, but the Canadian version. Ready? This land is your land, this land is my land, from Bona Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw below me the golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, I've followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. To all around me was a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. And then these are a lot of just, it was just the first part I really liked. This is a Canadian version of the lyrics of a song written by Woody Guthrie as performed by the Canadian folk singers of the 1960s called The Travelers. So really it's just that first part that I like. This land is your... Do they do that at the end again? No, they don't even repeat the first verse. They should have repeated that. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, near the relief office, I see my people, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering if this land's still made for you and me. Oh, that's sad. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. Thank you. I just like the first part, really. From Bona Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. Let's see if there's a different version. Nope, that's the whole one. All right, well, that's a lot of verses for that. Let's see what the Woody Guthrie version says. To Vancouver Island. Oh, he had Huntington's. His first two daughters also had Huntington's. That sucks. Huntington's is a friggin' rude disease. Okay. Anyway, thank you. I don't know. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's see. The Gulf Stream waters. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you. By the way, did you click the thumbs up today? I sang you a song. I might get demonetized for how accurately I sang it. I just like the... From Bona Vista to Vancouver Island. Where's Bona Vista? I'm guessing that's in, what, Nova Scotia side? Based on the... You know what I like about what our prime ministers say when they're talking about Canada? They say coast to coast to coast. Because, like, in the States, you guys say coast to coast. We have the best business from coast to coast. In Canada, we say, like, we're the best from coast to coast to coast. Because we have a coast on the... We have Pacific, Arctic, and Atlantic. Coast to coast to coast. And when I hear that, I hear best of the best of the best, sir! So, that's good. This land was made for you and me. This land wasn't made for any of us. This land was here way before me. How about that? This land would be better without me. Me being humanity. This land would be better without humanity. But I'm happy I'm here. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Earth. Hey, Earth. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here. I think I'm going to change into my overalls to do my work outside. I have overalls, and on the butt pocket it says fuck ice, and my butt is going to be facing the road. So I think that I'll do a protest gardening. I'm having a gardening protest demonstration today out in front of my house. I'm joking, obviously, but you know. Look at that. It's already almost noon. Beauty. I'll finish my row. And then I will wrap up my stuff and put it away because I'm responsible and mature and organized. Don't know if you knew that about me. Did you know I'm a real live YouTuber now too? Look, I got a silver play button. Don't look at how often I put out tutorial videos. Just acknowledge the play button. Don't worry about the other stuff. Just wow, a play button, so cool. Mwah! Thank you. To Vancouver Island. That song makes me think of Skinnamarink-a dinky dink, Skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you. Do you have Sharon, Lois, and Bran in the States, or is that just Canadian? I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skinnamarink-a dinky dink, Skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you. Boop boop be doo. We have had rain for 8 days straight. That's too much rain. We have not had that. We've had rain for like 2 days in a row in the last week, and now we're having 5 days with no rain. Which is good, except for that I have to water the garden, but, you know, at least it's nice and warm and sunny, and the plants will be happy about that. Done. Finished my row. Now I can fold up what we've been working on. Nope, yes, this. To Vancouver Island. And then the yarn. Ugh. I've got an itchy nose. I've got a sneeze that's been stuck in there all morning. All morning, I say. That's cute. Thank you. All right. Love you guys. I hope you had a good time today hanging out with me. If you did, please leave a comment or like the video, or both if you're a sassy person. You do you, boo. But I'm going to go now, and I'm going to go pee. Then I'm going to go get my overalls on. Then I'm going to go outside and do some gardening. I'll take pictures of the garden for you so you can see what's growing and how she's looking. But other than that, I'll see you on Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. See you next time.